Peace, 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 family. What's good? What's good? What's good, family? We are here once again. The SVDL playoffs, semi-conference final round. We got Mikhael in the building along with Claim Your Inheritance. When you come in the building, hit the like button, hit the like button. When you come in the building, man, this is the Solar Vision Debate League playoffs, man. And guess who's in the building? We got Through the Knowledge Radio is in the building, along with School of Understanding. They will be the judges for tonight's debate. And tonight's topic is the 12 tribes chart according to REI legit? All right, so Mikhael is in the building along with Claim Your Inheritance. And we're going to be getting it in, family, just to let you guys know that we will be rocking out tomorrow with a non-playoff debate. It's going to be Yara Ben Nazareth. He's going to be going up against Jamra Ya'u. So make sure you be in the building for that. I just actually set up a debate between G-Con and Yasha and Brother Yashar for Friday. And on Thursday, we're going to have Swab Boss. Yeah, Swab Boss is going to be in the building. He's going to be going up against Gideon Israel. So that will be a playoff debate, family. But tonight, we got Mikhael in the building. We got Claim Your Inheritance in the building. Is the 12 tribes chart, according to REI, legit? So let's introduce the debaters for tonight. Mikhael, what's good with your family?
Hey, shalom, brother Solar. Shalom to the whole Solar Vision Debate League. Peace to the judges. Peace, grace, and peace to everybody in the chat, man, that's watching. I'd like to give all honor and praises to the Most High Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the name of his son, Jesus Christ, our Mashiach. And this debate, I just like to say to everybody, I know the 12 tribes is something that a lot of brothers and sisters hold dear to them. You know, I've been looking at the chart, and I've been around. I'm personal friends with even a lot of brothers who subscribe to the chart, and people wonder why I've never really debated the issue or nothing like that, because I took a good look at it for some years before I decided to actually critique it in any type of way. And therefore, I was really hoping that one day I would be able to actually sit down and have a dialogue with some brothers that I've built a relationship with, to where it would be real civilized, you know what I'm saying? And the people would be able to learn from it. It wouldn't be no mud slinging or people feeling like they, you know, beliefs getting pooped on. But fortunately, I believe the Most High has presented me with that brother, and that's the brother Claim. You know what I'm saying? I've been knowing him for a while, and so I think this will be a good informational for those who understand the scriptures, believe the scriptures, and history and things of that nature. I will make my my argument that in order for it to be legit, it must be 100% accurate. And I'm going to show that my reasons that I don't think we should be subscribing to a chart. I'm gonna bring that. So that I say shalom, peace.
All right. Peace, family. Peace to Mikhael. Claim Your Inheritance. What's good with your family? You there, Claim?
He real low.
Yeah, we gotta get closer to the mic or turn your mic up, brother, because we can't hear you.
Okay, is that better? Hello?
Yeah, bro. We hear you now.
Okay, so yeah, so the chart's been around since the 1960s, and so it ain't going nowhere. I'm just another brother that came along and learned the information well enough to present it, and hopefully we can get through this without no type of mudslinging, like he said. And I know Mikhael, he has decorum, so there won't be an issue. As far as the information goes, it is accurate, pretty much 100%. So everything ain't. I don't like to use the word 100%. I say 99.9% or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna present the information, lay it out quite clear, quite flat, and we can get into the details about it on the argument league. So uh, just listen. That's what I implore the audience to do tonight, is to listen very carefully.
All right, all right. So with that being said, we're going with a 3-judge format for tonight's debate. Each judge is worth 1 power point and 10 voting points. We got Do the Knowledge in the building. What's going on, Do the Knowledge?
Hey, peace to the Solar Vision Debate League, peace to the family out there. Get them likes up, man. Hit that super chat and share this epic video. I think this one is going to be one everybody got their daggone Black History Month scholarship voices on today. You understand what I'm saying? But we still looking for a good intellectual brawl right here with clear, concise points and edification for the listeners. So I'm ready. Appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we got School of Understanding in the building, family. What's going on, School of Understanding?
Shalom, shalom. Peace to all beings, and let's get ready to rumble.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So, once again, tonight's topic is, it's a 12 tribes chart according to REI Legit. We got you said what? Yeah, your mic. Yeah, no, your mic was, once you begin to talk or whatever adjustment you made, the mic is cool now, brother. So you're straight. So Claim Your Inheritance is set to go first. We're going to get right into this whole deal. We're going to go ahead and set this timer for 10 minutes. And brother, Claim Your Inheritance. Whenever you're ready, brother, you can begin your opening.
All right, New Jerusalem, the world's holiest government, presents REI's 12 tribe chart is legit. Agreements. Malak Mikhael ben Yisrael agrees original Israelites were black. Thus, Israelites perfect in their generations are black. Jeremiah 14:2. And it states, Judah mourneth, the gates thereof language, they are black unto the ground. The cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Amos 9:7. It reads, Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel? So that's explaining that the Most High knows who we are, and we appear as the Ethiopians. So everybody knows that the Ethiopians are black people. Genesis 6:9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. So we explain that as he kept his genealogy pure, making him a black man. I personally view him as an albino black man. Revelations 1:15, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters, talking about the appearance of Christ. So we know that the children of Israel are black people, and we agree to that. All right, Mikhael agrees both the northern and southern kingdoms called Israel and Judah were originally black. Mikhael agrees both kingdoms were once united under our kings Saul, David, and Solomon. Mikhael agrees the United Kingdom of Israel became two separate kingdoms under Jeroboam and Rehoboam. Mikhael agrees the two separate kingdoms will become the United Kingdom of Israel again one day, according to Ezekiel 37:15. which reads, the word of the Most High came again unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of your people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, thus saith the Most High Power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand, in the hand of the Most High Power. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, thus saith the Most High Power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. So we agree on that part where they were divided into two nations, and in the latter days, before the return of Christ, we will become one nation again. So it's important for us to gather these saints together. You know what I mean? We have to disseminate the information clearly and get them invigorated to join us in our efforts to build that nation that is prophesied to be. Mikhael agrees he's a valuable member of the tribe of Judah living in America. Mikhael agrees his ancestors are members of the tribe of Judah, tracing back to the fourth son of Jacob/Israel. Mikhael agrees the southern kingdom called Judah, who are his ancestors, were brought to the Americas via the transatlantic slave trade. So this is how we got here. He agrees that the kingdom of Judah came from Africa. You see all these arrows coming from Africa to the Americas. So that's the southern kingdom. He understands that very clearly. Mikhael agrees the numbers are approximate. So whenever they disseminate the numbers for us, they just round them to the nearest million people and stuff like that. So that should not be an issue tonight, the exact numbers. Mikhael agrees that the Southern Kingdom are in the Americas, known by the bywords Black, African American, Negro, Colored, Nigger, Coon, Mulatto, Quadroon, and Octoroon. Mikhael agrees that the countless numbers of the Northern Kingdom are in the Americas and are also known by the bywords. He disagrees that the Northern Kingdom are in the Americas by the bywords Indian, Savages, Red, Indian, Native American, and Autochthonous, and Indigenous. Description of U.S. Census classifications disagrees with him. So we got Native American here, and they're called Indian. We got African American who are called Black, Mulatto, Quadroon, and Octoroon. He knows that part, but he doesn't understand that our brothers are here as well in the Americas. Mikhael disagrees that members of the Northern Kingdom are identifiable according to Ariah's 12-tribe chart. In other words, he imagines that we cannot identify the Northern Kingdom in the Americas. But how? How does Mikhael not know the Northern Kingdom came to the Americas when he agrees that the Southern Kingdom came to the Americas? How are the 12 tribes still lost in his mind? God forbid. He might trick you by saying they're not in the Americas, they're in Europe. But Ariel taught us that too. Second Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40 through 47 says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser, the kingdom of Syria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth. Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. So they escaped their Assyrian captivity and went somewhere. I'll show where that is. Learning the basics of the Hebrew language is winning when exposing truths, facts, and realities of biblical prophecies that are flooded, obscured, and covered by liars, the insincere, and the unlearned. Arsareth means it's a compound word from H731, Arzah, cedar, wainscoting, and theft, which means terror. The terrifying cedars is the concept. The found 10 tribes of Israel. See, I know the northern kingdom came to the Americas. The 10 lost tribes are easy to identify in my mind. Hallelujah. Ariel's 12 tribe chart clears your mind about this topic. That's obvious. So these are the terrible cedars, the terrifying cedars that they would have seen when they landed on the west coast of the American shores. These are the tallest trees in the world. This is what the Northern Kingdom saw when they landed on the west coast of what's known as America today. The sin of interracial dating is important to.
Time. All right, shout out to Claim Your Inheritance for dropping that science. We're going to hand this thing over now to Brother Mikhael. Brother Mikhael, set this timer for 10 minutes, brother. Whenever you're ready, you can begin your opening. Your opening, brother. Unmute your mic. Mikhael, unmute your mic, brother. Your mic is muted, Mikhael, if you hear me. And if you can't unmute your mic, you might want to drop out and come back in. All right. I don't know what's going on with Brother Mikhael right now. So see if I could call him again. Okay, he's trying to come back in.
Yeah, I hope you ain't starting my time. My bad, everybody. I went to try and screen share. You know, I still ain't got it down packed. So I went to screen share and it literally kicked me off. So I don't know. So all my stuff, my tabs I had pulled up here are gone.
Do you have your tabs up now?
No, they all the ones I had pulled up are gone. I'm about to go back and try to find them and pull them all back up.
Look,
And
go to the top right corner.
go to history.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finna try that now.
See, look at my screen right here. The top right corner.
Okay.
You hit that, and then you hit history. And then it should be recently closed. One of these should have all your tabs in it.
All right, let me see. Okay, hold on. Shoot.
Yeah, he just dropped off again. With shout out to the family. Like I said, we're gonna be rocking out all week. We're gonna have on Sunday. We're gonna have outside the cube. He's gonna be in the building going up against Bishop Eliyahu, and their topic is homosexuality. Is homosexuality immoral behavior? It's homosexuality immoral behavior. So they will be debating that this coming Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you be in the building for that. Family. Mikhael.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. You got two icons up now, so
I got two up.
yeah. You
Okay, let me try to see if I could close. Yeah, man, it's just messed me all up. I apologize to the audience. I really don't know what I'm doing. That's why I usually just do it old school and freestylish, man. It's technology. I'm a dummy when it comes to that. I don't even know how to close that other one out.
So no, do you got your information up so you can share it?
Yeah, I got my information up. I'm scared to share it though. I'm scared it's gonna kick me off
Just
again.
go ahead and hit that green screen in the upper left hand corner with the white arrow.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'm about to. Let me see. Can y'all see it?
Did you hit the arrow?
Yeah, I hit the arrow.
What is it saying? There you go.
It got. You see it? Okay.
No, that's
okay.
clean. That's clean.
No, that's me.
No, did you hit the arrow? No, because I see your icon. I don't see when you hit the arrow, it'll start showing a lot of screens. A lot of screens will pop up.
Okay. I hit the arrow and now I see the screen. Okay, I see it.
All right. So hit share screen.
Yeah, I hit share. Can y'all see it now?
Now we can see it now.
What is it?
It's a guy there with dreads.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, audience. I want y'all to hear this. The brother came out, you know, he said a couple of things that was a little bit off about me, but for the most part, he had it down packed. But it's things like this, due to that you have elders in the Israelite community, they're going to be, you know, they're going to be more prone to knowing a little bit more of the history concerning these things. And as long as you have questionable things like what y'all about to view, with the brother elder who came up under the REI era, then it's going to leave questions out there. So I just play this real quick. Want y'all listen close.
You always were, in those days, intent on bowing to the gray hair. You know, it was like, that's it. You know, they said, we're now going to hear from our elder. and I would teach you. And he'd stand up there and he started talking and say, and I can prove it with that book you got right there in your hand, you know. And anyway, that was a great experience. I went up there a couple times. And one time we were over there and they had the charts up. And they had the charts that said if you're Jamaican, you come from this tribe, and if you're from Barbados, and that tribe, and read the book. Said, hey, come on, Pop. What is, you know that ain't right? He said, of course, Danny, I know that's not right. He said, but that's the hook. That's how we get them into place, and we wire them up to what's true.
Shalom, everyone. We're talking to.
Okay. Now, I don't know if y'all heard that clear. Did y'all hear that clear?
Yeah, we heard it clear, bro.
Okay, well, basically, y'all can check that out on y'all own. It's really not a secret. Some of us know about it, but it's elder, and it's a couple of videos out there with brothers that came up with REI and elders that came up, of course, right after the Abba Bivens era. And they were saying that it was no secret that elders would say, you know, that chart that REI put out there was more of a hook to get, you know, to get the people in. And so, I mean, if they making these statements, I mean, who am I to argue against it? Let me see how I close my screen now. Okay. Another thing is this. So I want to go to the book, because when you look at the 12 tribes chart, my issue never has been Latinos, Israelites. Never made that argument before in my life, because I know Latinos are Israelites. And I hear a lot of brothers on the other end say, well, the Negro only Israelites are more racist than you say than we are. But in fact, the fact that there's a classification of Negro, Latino, and Native American has already caused problems. Being that we are the exact same people, why wouldn't we be under the exact same ethnic terminology or ethnic group? And then, you know, it's one thing that's it's one verse that, you know, that I know is used quite often when this topic comes up. So let me find it real quick. Let me go to Hosea chapter 7. This is one that my brothers that subscribe to the chart like to use a lot. So you got Hosea chapter 7, and let me see. 1 second. Hosea chapter 7. I apologize again, y'all, for the technical difficulties. I'm gonna have to get that down packed, man. And I really ain't been feeling too hot either. So Hosea chapter 7, we're gonna pick it up, Hosea 7 and verse 8. And this is what is read all the time. It says, Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people, and Ephraim is a cake not turned. So they will use that to say, like with the Puerto Ricans, if I'm not mistaken, that this is why a lot of the Latinos would look that way, as far as the ones who look like Europeans, you know what I'm saying, is because they mixed with the people. But indeed, when you just read Hosea, it tells you what that's talking about, because the people that we mixed with during this time and Hosea was African, was Hamites, the Assyrians, the Egyptians, and people of that nature when we went back. So if you started from verse 1, it says, when I would have healed Israel, then the iniquity of Ephraim was discovered, and the wickedness of Samaria, for they have committed falsehood and thief and come in, and troop of robbers spoiled with them. So I'm gonna skip down to verse 4. It says, they are all adulterers as an oven heated by the baker, who ceaseth from raising after he have kneaded the dough until it be leavened. So when they say, so when you'll hear somebody say, see, there's a cake unturned, meaning as though they're lighter skinned on one side or something like that, it's actually talking about their idolatry and their paganism. Because when they mix with these nations, these were dark nations. it was the idolatry, and it further confirms it in this same chapter, verse 6. For they have made ready their heart like an oven, whilst they lie in wait. Their baker sleepeth all the night. In the morning it burneth as a flaming fire. They are all hot as an oven, and have devoured their judges. All their kings are fallen. There is none among them that call it unto me. Skip down to verse 11. Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart, and they call to Egypt and go to Assyria. So this is what it's talking about when it said cake is unturned. It's not talking about people went from looking like Wesley Snipes to Ricky Martin. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna also bring out the point later on that I'm not saying that all Israelites have to look the exact same way. We're talking about the general populations. So I'm gonna continue and let the book explain who the Israelites are. So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 that we all like, Deuteronomy 28 and 43. So if we go to Deuteronomy 28 and 43, it'll make it even clearer for us that the Israelites will be in a certain position wherever they scattered at. So it says Deuteronomy 28 and verse 43. And here, this is what it reads. It says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. If you look at Latin America, the people that are down very low are the Afro-Latinos, who you don't seem to see ever. Like how often you may catch a Dominican, you may you may even catch a dark Puerto Rican, but for the most part, when you see the charts out there and people that represent them, they're almost never the dark ones. And you know why? Because the dark ones or the ones that are Negro, that's why it throws a whole wrench in the chart. Because if they're saying Negroes are Judah, then that means that all those Afro-Mexicans are not Issachar, but they're Judah. That means all the Afro-Cubans are Judah. That means all the Afro-Venezuelans are Judah. So now the whole chart just by default is already not legit. But we're going to continue. As a matter of fact, let me see if I could pull this up real quick. That'll make it even better. Here we go. Okay. How racism persists in Latin America. Can y'all see this?
No, hit that green arrow again.
Okay. It's acting funky on me again. I don't want it to kick me out. Okay, well, let's see. Share.
There you go.
Okay. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, we see it, brother.
Okay, how racism persists in Latin American communities. Now, this goes right along with Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43. And we are also going to read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 25. It says, since January, the Teatro Trail in Little Havana has been showing this play. And this is a play that that's in blackface. It's extremely racist. It says the visual, I can't say that one, to sold out crowds. The Spanish language produced featured a blackface character. A fair-skinned actress wore brown face makeup and overdrawn big red lips. The theater recently decided to eliminate blackface from the play after El Nuevo Herald report denouncing it. Blackface was once popular in racist minstrel shows in the United States, but has since been regarded as racist. It's still performed regularly in Spanish language entertainment. Afro-Latinos in Miami say the play is a window into the racism that exists and persists in local Latin American communities. Y'all can go on and continue to read all this on y'all own. Y'all get a chance. There's some good information on there. But the point and the argument that I'm making is it's definitely Israelites throughout all of Latin America. But another big problem I have with the chart is Brazil. Do people know that Brazil has the largest amount of quote unquote people from Africa outside of Africa? Outside of Nigeria, it has the most people, yet it's not on the chart.
All right. So shout out to both debaters for the opening round. We're gonna now go to the premise round, which is 15 minutes. we want to go ahead and set this timer for 15 minutes and hand this thing over to Claim Your Inheritance. Claim Your Heritage. You got 15 minutes to state your premise. Family, whenever you're ready, you can begin, brother.
Okay, I'm gonna clarify all those confusions that he has tonight. And as far as that elder, I don't think I know anybody who knows him. But if we are to take his word for it, then that's a good thing. He says that it's incorrect, and that's a hook or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's an important teaching tool, and it is accurate. So I'm gonna show you that tonight. The sin of interracial dating. Deuteronomy 5:9 says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord, the Most High, your power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me." So, in this case of the sin that is visited to the third and fourth generation, it is interracial dating. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Your daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto your son. So we're not supposed to do that. But so that's why you have the, uh, uh, for lack of a better word, Afro Latinas. But they are just dark Latinas because they kept the law and don't interracially date. So the lighter skinned Latinas, I'm going to get into in just a moment. If you continue to sin, you hate your power, and their grace and mercy will apply to your descendants. If continued, your bloodline becomes whited out and grace and mercy runs out. A woman who produces a child by interracial dating instantly becomes another race, according to how we keep track of races biblically, uh, which is by the father of the race in question. A man dilutes his race when having children with another race. Deuteronomy 7:4-5 says, "For they will turn away your son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you, and destroy you suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire." Revelations 11:3-5 says, "And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceeds out of their mouth and devour their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed." So we know that the God of this earth is Satan. So interracial sin visited unto the third and fourth generations is also the confusion of faces. So the people who don't interracially date are dark skinned, like he knows. So he accepts that the Latinas are Israelites. I'm going to show how they got there. Okay. So now you got, since he doesn't know. So the first generation, the fathers, uh, you see, they're black. The mulattoes are considered black. Those are the sons. The quadroon, which is this man dating a white woman and producing a child, okay, as a quadroon, and they are the third generation. That's the grandsons. The fourth generation is this man uh, dating a white woman and producing this child. The results may vary. That's an octoroon. That's the fourth generation. So the iniquities of them interracially dating all this time causes them to lighten their skin tone. And then that's how races are created. Different races are created. Okay. So then you got the white is this man dating a white woman and producing a child. That's the fifth generation, and they are cut off for good. So when the children of the iniquity of interracial dating become many in number, they're referred to as human races worldwide. Claim your inheritance. Daniel 9:4-8 says, "And I prayed unto the Most High my power, and made my confession and said, O Most High, the great and dreadful power, keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him and to them that keep his commandments. We have sinned and have committed iniquity and have done wickedly and have rebelled, even by departing from your precepts and from your judgments. Neither have we hearkened unto your servants the prophets, which spoke in your name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. O Most High, righteousness belongs unto you, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because their trespass that they have trespassed against thee, O Lord. To us belongs confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. So that's the sin of interracial dating. That's what happens. It creates uh, new races, and it's a sin. So this is what you see whenever you see the new races. You see the daughters around the world looking like the locals wherever they are scattered to. You have the mothers who are very dark skinned, then you have the mulattoes who are lighter, and then so forth and so on. So just like with the men, you see the same uh, situation where the women are the similar complexions, and results may vary, but they all look similar, and you can kind of point them out as you look around, or you can spot a Puerto Rican, you can spot a native indigenous person, you can spot all these different races very easily. It's because they mixed. 12 tribes of Israel taught by Ariyah. You got Sirach 26:19 through 23. My son, keep your flower of your age sound, and give not your strength to strangers. That's interracial dating. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the fields, sow it with your own seed, trusting in the goodness of your stock. So your race which you leave shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent. A harlot shall be accounted as spit, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that fears the Most High. As we look around the world, we can easily identify Israelites. Ariel's 12 tribe chart focuses on the Americas and is an extremely good teaching tool for zombie Israelites in the Americas. Amos 3:3 says, can two walk together except they be agreed? As we look around the world, we can easily identify Israelites. The chart he defined, attracted more unaware Israelites to their ancient nationality than any other teaching tool in existence. Ariel's 12 tribe chart focuses on the Americas and is a legit teaching tool for Israelites in the Americas. That's obvious. A premise. Okay, so now the definition of legit is, you can look that up on your own time. I don't have a whole lot of time, but it's right here. Ruling by or based on the strict principle of hereditary right, as in a legitimate king. Revelations 1:6, and it says, and have made us kings and priests unto power and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Revelation 5:10 says, and has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. 2 Timothy 3:16 says, all scripture is given by inspiration of power and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, being exactly as purposed, neither spurious nor false, a legitimate grievance, a legitimate practitioner, conforming to recognized principles or accepted rules and standards, a legitimate advertising expenditure. Deuteronomy 19:15, one witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity or for any sin, in any sin that he sins. At the mouth of two witnesses or at the mouth of three witnesses shall the matter be established. So that's what we're using. We're using varying witnesses throughout the text to prove this situation. Elder Ariel's own words. Make sure you can hear it clearly.
American Indian. If you're going to deal with justice, wait just a minute. If you're going to deal with justice, listen to what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
If you're going to be a just people in a society, this land here really belongs to the so-called American Indian who took it right. That's justice. Now, if you're going to talk about Christ, you got to go back to the law of justice. The Bible says if you move another man's plot, move his insignia from his plot of land, that is wrong, and you have to pay for that.
Reuben is a Seminole Indian. Gad is a North American Indian. Asher is a Brazilian Indian. Naphtali is the Argentinian Indians. Issachar is the Mexican Indians. Those are the real tribes of Israel, according to the scriptures. Now, if the cameraman can come back to this, I'd like to focus on this. The real Jews are black, like this relief from the walls of the tombs of Egypt shows. See that? It clearly shows that they're black people. Now, the caption under this says, brick making by the Jews in Egypt. Now, this is in the back of a Bible. Through the Bible.
Okay, so what we heard clearly is that Ariel stating that the original and those perfect in their generations are black. All right, and indigenous to this land. So what I'm going to show next is Zebulon, because he didn't mention that in that video.
Haven of ships. That's Panama. Panama is for haven of ships. That's why the Panama Canal was through there. Everybody got that? So from Guatemala to Panama, that whole strip of land going down to Panama, not just Panama, from Guatemala to Panama is located the tribe of who? Everybody got that? Not just the Panamanians. It goes from Guatemala.
He said not just the Panamanians. So when you call it a hook, right, is to get you to sit down and learn the details of the information. So he already said that the real Israelites are black. All right, so we agree on Judah, we agree on Benjamin, we agree on Levi, and now he agrees on the Latinas. So I'm going to show how they got here later on in the debate. Disagreements about Ariel's 12-tribe chart in Northern Kingdom. First, to firmly establish the result of Mikhael's resistance to this lesson. Now that I've warned you twice, let's move on with the lesson. This is what happens when you resist this information. Okay, so you scatter the flock. So you look that up, and you'll see that the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Most High. So I implore you to gather the flock instead of scattering the flock away from this lesson. So disagreements about Ariel's 12-tribe chart. Prophecy explicitly reveals that all of Israel would be oppressed together in the days before the return of Emmanuel. Jeremiah 50:33. Thus saith the Most High of armies, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So you're going to see that the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom are oppressed together wherever they are scattered. So that would include the United States. All right. So Bible omission. Second Ezra 14:1-6. And it came to pass upon the third day, I sat up under an oak, and beheld there came a voice out of a bush over against me, and said, Ezra, Ezra. And I said, Here I am, Most High. And I stood up upon my feet.
Time. All right, we're going to keep this thing rolling. We're going to hand this thing over to Brother Mikhael. Brother Mikhael, you have 15 minutes. Whenever you're ready, you can begin.
Yeah, baby. He done turned it up a notch. Love is coming off. I want y'all to pay close attention to what my dear brother Claim did. And I see people do this a lot. He went to Daniel chapter 9 and verse 7. So let's read that together, because you actually blew your own toe off, bro. This is Daniel chapter 9, and we're gonna pick it up at verse 7. It said, the Lord our righteousness belong unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day to the men of Judah. Now, these the ones they say that's Negroes in America. So they got the confusion of faces too. That's what you're saying? So let's keep going. It says, as of this day, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all of Israel that are near, that are far off, throughout all the countries, whether thou have driven them because of their trespass, and they had trespassed against thee. Let's clear something up right now. That can't be used, because it is not talking about you don't know what your ethnicity is by looking at your face. Like, they don't look black no more. We know that, because all you got to do is go to Psalms chapter 44, and it'll tell you what confusion of faces mean. So let's see what confusion of faces mean. Psalms chapter 44. Let's pick it up. It has absolutely nothing to do with skin color. Psalms chapter 44, and I'm gonna pick it up at let's see where I can grab this at. Psalms 44 and verse 15. Here we go. This is what confusion of faces is. It says, my confusion is continually before me, and the shame of my face have covered me. Confusion of faces actually mean to be confounded, to have that confused look. You ever seen when somebody is ashamed, how he had his stuck look? And to further prove it, you can go to Jeremiah the 7th chapter. Jeremiah the 7th chapter. So we can look at it again. Confusion of faces has absolutely nothing to do with your skin tone. So let's see. Jeremiah. So let's go to Jeremiah. Bear with me. Okay. Jeremiah the 7th chapter and the 19th verse. Here we go again. It says, do they provoke me to anger, saith the Lord? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces? So this is literally what it's talking about. The confusion of their faces is confoundment and shame. It has absolutely nothing to do with looking like a different ethnic group. So we can't be using that no more. I had to take you to school on that one, my dear brother. Also, it was something else my brother said. When you go to Hosea chapter 8 verse 8, it lets us know. Matter of fact, I'll just take it there. Let's go to Hosea chapter 8 and verse 8. So this Hosea 8:8, it lets us know that the bulk of Judah in itself would be, let's see, Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. But they are gone up to Assyria, and a wild ass alone by Ephraim he have had lovers. And we can skip down to 11. Because Ephraim have made many altars to sin, and altars shall be unto him to sin. So I have to throw that in there, because the number one thing that God even was focusing on with us is that us taking on the gods of these other people? Of course, I don't disagree with my brother that a lot of that has to start by you mingling with these people. But when you try to use things like confusing the faces, then you have to use that all the way around the board. And it said Judah will have a confusing the faces. But you say Judah is the Negro. So if Judah is the Negro, and then earlier my brother brought up colorism. That's what he brought up when you talked about you know, how the Afro-Latinos are treated. But there's a big difference between colorism and racism. And let me go back to the curses to explain it. Where I went in the beginning, Deuteronomy chapter 28, because this one seems not to get addressed. It's like we kind of skipped straight over this one. So this is Deuteronomy 28, and let me see, Deuteronomy 28. Let me pick it up at verse 4. Oh, no, I ain't gonna even go to that one. Let me go to Deuteronomy 28 and 43. 28 and 43, that's what I brought up earlier. It says, the stranger that is within thee, now y'all remember this, because I brought this up earlier, shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. If you go look, the brother brought up earlier, he said it's because the Afro-Latinos stay amongst themselves and breed. Well, how do you do that? Because they're put in ghettos. They put in ghettos like the rest of the Israelites around the world. That's just like us over here in America. It says, and then the stranger amongst them shall come up high, and they'll be down low. You know who run most of the governments in those in most of those countries? It's the people that do not look like them. And mind you, I'm not saying that you don't have Israelites around that look like Jennifer Lopez. Nobody's saying that. That would be stupid. We got them in our family. What I'm saying is there's no way that a whole population, as a matter of fact, let me go back to the scripture. So let's go to let me see. I'm gonna pick it up at I'm gonna go to Isaiah chapter 29. So this Isaiah chapter 29. Now people kind of debate on rather what this means. But what we do know is it's definitely not dealing with darkness. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 22. And this is what it says. So this is for the argument that Israel that all started out dark and brown Negroes, all of a sudden just turned into, you know what I'm saying, Robert De Niro. So let's look at this right here. This is Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 22. And it says, therefore thus saith the Lord, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob. Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale. So if you're going to take that with saying confusing the faces, has something to do with how you going to look as far as your skin tone lighten up. This just said the whole house of Israel would never wax pale. So they would never get lighter, you know, like they just going to get bleached all of a sudden. So, I mean, that kind of just shoots itself in the head. But then we can continue. I got another one for you, though. So let's go to, we're going to go to, let me see, we're going to go to another prophet. Let's go to the prophet Nahum. Let's look at the prophet Nahum. This Nahum chapter 2, Nahum 2 and 10. And this is what it says concerning the Israelites. She is empty and void and waste, and the heart melted, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all loins, and the faces of them all gather blackness. So we just gonna get so literal and terminological with the words and dealing with color. It say that all their faces gather blackness. And the funny thing about it, when I used to read this, I thought this was just more of a like a spiritual thing, like meaning depression, until I went and picked up that bogus NIV, I think the ESV too, and they knew it was dealing with color because why in there it say their face gather paleness. So they turned them white because they knew this verse, one of these verses get them in a whole bunch of trouble. So I just had to throw that out there so people won't keep using that confusing the faces because it's actually going to cause confusion of doctrine. Now again, let's get back to the 12 tribes. So I like to look at something. Let's go to, now we see the chart that the brother had up with REI. And I like that he did that because it's more of an original chart because now, you know, a lot of them has been altered, you know, IUIC. They had enough sense to add this on there, but it still shows that, you know, it's off. It's really off. Isaiah chapter 11. Let's go to chapter 11 and verse 11. Let's check it out. Now, this is mainly, and if you read it, we're going to see who it's talking about, because it's going to talk about Ephraim and then Judah. So let's pick it up. Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush, which is Ethiopia, and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. So when you go look at a map, you're going to see all these countries is in Africa. Northeast, it go from Ethiopia to Northeast Africa all the way up to about where the land is. And then it say the islands of the sea. You got two whole different sides of the islands of the sea. You got us over here, and you got the Mediterranean, which only makes sense. All you got to do is look on the map and know the history. But let's continue reading. Let's see what the next one say. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, which was already scattered by the Assyrians. You can read plenty of books. They, you know, Babylon of Timbuktu, Hebrewisms of West Africa, and you'll see that the people like the Ibu tribe and all that, they got 2,700 years of history, and they tell you that they migrated from the Assyrians over into Africa. Let me continue. It says, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So who went to the four corners of the earth? Judah. Judah went to the four corners of the earth, and I'm going to address the Jeremiah 52 with the two in captivity, because I see they get used a lot. The people that's definitely got a historical tone to it. Let me show you what this means though. So it says Judah from the four corners of the earth. To further back that up, you'll see it in the scriptures. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. So let's go to Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter, Deuteronomy 32, just to confirm it. Deuteronomy 32, because y'all got to keep in mind and remember, Israel, the northern kingdom, messed up first. And that's why God was so mad at Judah, because if anything, we should have been trying to recover them or get them back right with God, but we turned around and played the harder and did exactly what they did. So he sent us as far away from the borders as possible. Deuteronomy chapter 32, and I'm gonna read verse 26. He said, I said, I will scatter them into corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. And so we know who that is. That's us, you know, the transatlantic slave trade. Everywhere these quote unquote so-called black people were scattered in them slave boats, people act like they don't know who they are. The memory of them has ceased from among men. They don't know who they are, and people don't know who they are. You find little bitty pockets of them that might have a remnant of something that a grandfather passed down. But that's another thing. And another thing I want to talk about, when he read Second Ezra, which I knew that was going to come up. So let's go take a look at it. Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 40 through 45 is what he read. And it explains the 10 tribes diaspora over the waters. It say they made a league to leave and find a place to keep their statues. And it says also, a keynote, that it took a year and a half. And this is talking about the land Assyria. Now, what's funny about this is it said that they would go there where they would keep the law. But when you look at the Aztecs and a bunch of other Native American groups, they was not keeping the law. You can't find, I've yet to find an 8th-day circumcision with them, but you know where you can find it? What we just read in Isaiah 11:11. When you go over there and look at the Ebus and the Lemba over in Ghana and all those places like that, they actually still keep 8th-day, they still keep 8th-day circumcision. They even keep the woman menstrual laws, where a woman have to go away from the house when she's on her monthly. I don't see this in the Native American history. Also, it also says in 2nd Ezra 13, 40 through 45, of course, it said that they would carry the law, but you don't see any mentioning of them building boats or anything like that. Why? Because if you take 2nd Ezra or the Apocrypha as scripture, then you have to look at it and say, well, where did they go through? all you gotta do is look at the sea over there. It lines right up with Isaiah the 11th chapter. You can even go to the 12th chapter. But that's another one. But also, I would like to if you go to let me see, Zephaniah 3 and 10. Zephaniah 3 and 10. So I'm gonna check out Zephaniah 3 and 10 just to make that a little bit, add a little more sauce onto that. Zephaniah 3 and 10. So yeah, the whole packing of making the law that they was gonna keep the law in the land outside of their own, then we got a problem. Because if we see it was people there cutting their face, which is strictly against the law in Leviticus, to tell you don't make no markings on you, then that means it was somebody there when they got there, which already defeats the prophecy because it said nobody would be there. You see what I'm saying? Or that means they was not keeping the law, which means they're not Israelite. So it's a double bubble either way it goes. So let me see, what was I gonna go? Oh, Zechariah chapter 3. Let me see, Zechariah 3. And let me see. Pick it up at. Okay, it says, let me see.
Time.
Oh, my bad.
All right. So what we're going to now do is get into the rebuttal round. The rebuttal round is also set for 15 minutes. Claim your inheritance. Whenever you're ready, you can begin your rebuttal, brother.
Okay, what I implore everyone to do, it doesn't take long to fact check these things. We're in the age of information. Information has been proliferated for our learning. Mm-hmm. So if you Google circumcision Native Americans, it's going to take 0.67 seconds to pop up. Christopher Columbus reported circumcision being practiced by Native Americans. It was also practiced by the Incas, the Aztecs, and the Mayans. And he just said that they don't do that. It probably started among South American tribes as a blood sacrifice or ritual mutilation to test bravery and endurance, and its use later evolved into a rite of initiation. See, they don't understand the Holy Scriptures, and that's why we are back to teach the Holy Scriptures. And I said earlier, and I read the verses that prove that Judah and Israel, the northern and southern kingdom, will be oppressed together. So wherever we are in the world, we're going to be oppressed together. So I made that very clear. So this is the known world before Columbus. This is what the people of that time knew. They just knew Africa, Europe, and Asia. That's all they knew. So now, when you take a close look at it, right? This is the known world before Columbus. So if you look at the whole, what we know now, the Americas and Greenland and Australia and New Zealand, right? They only knew the lighted area here, Africa, Europe, and Asia. That's all they knew before Columbus. And that's why they called Columbus finding the new world a discovery, as if people wasn't living here from 700 BC to 1492. So it was millions of indigenous people living here for that long. You see what I'm saying? So over that time, he is correct that they became corrupted over that time span. But when Columbus got there, they were still keeping the law that he says they don't keep, circumcision. So I'm just clarifying your confusion, brother. You understand? So that will be Arsarit. You can call it Canada, America, Mexico, and the Caribbean is what we call it today. Hawaii, Alaska, South America, Greenland, Chukchi Peninsula, Australia, and New Zealand, where never mankind dwelt. Outside of what they didn't know about all these places. Up in here, see what I'm saying? They ain't know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But since the 12 tribe chart focuses on the Americas, then we got to see how we got here. Arsarit is Canada, America, Mexico, Caribbean. Okay, we focusing on the Americas, South America. While your ancestors that you agree in the Southern Kingdom were traveling west to the Americas on ships, the Northern Kingdom traveled east out of Assyria to the Americas on ships. So in 70 AD, you got the destruction of Jerusalem. We went and lived in Africa for 1,500 years until the start of the slave trade. And then the start of the slave trade was close to 1619 AD. And then we got shipped over here to the Americas. In 718 BC, the Israel, the northern kingdom, escaped the Assyrian captivity and went through the sea, namely a year and a half to all everywhere, wherever mankind dwelt. So we focusing on the Americas. The southern kingdom traveled west out of Israel into and out of Africa to the Americas on ships. The northern kingdom traveled east out of Assyria to the Americas on ships. Now that you know how the northern kingdom came to the Americas, it's crystal clear how to identify our brothers. Okay, so of course we're going to still disagree. Okay, so we got the northern kingdom here. We got Reuben are the Seminole indigenous. We got Simeon and Levi are the Dominican and Haitian indigenous. There's Judah are Negroes. Zebulon are Guatemala to Panama indigenous. Issachar are Mexican indigenous. Dan are Moors and Afro-Mauritanians. Gad are North American indigenous. Asher are Brazilian indigenous. And Dan, let me tell you about Dan here. Because the Most High waited for his repentance. They won't be in the chart in Revelation. They won't be a part of the congregation because they refuse to repent and become one with the fold of the United Kingdom of Israel. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that bites the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for your salvation, O Most High. But you decide to sell us into slavery and make a deal with the devil. You can't do that, and you're going to pay for it. All right. Gad are the North American indigenous. Manasseh are Cuban indigenous. Ephraim are Puerto Rican indigenous. Benjamin are Jamaican indigenous. Okay, so now when the Northern Kingdom made it to the Americas and they landed on the West Coast, so you know that's what they was talking about, the terrible cedars. Over time, when they from 718 BC to they lived here in the Americas all this time. I want to say 1,700 years if I got my math right, or 2,000 years if I got my math right, somewhere like that. The Portuguese began to conquer their newly discovered lands that they didn't know anything about, that I showed just a second ago in 1492. So they began to conquer these lands, and then over time, to 1700s, they conquered all of their newly discovered location where these millions of people lived. All right, so and we were oppressed together. So the Northern Kingdom was oppressed, followed by all other Edomite-dominated countries during the Renaissance. The revived Roman Empire, the daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great. Okay, so that's España, Portugal, Great Britain, United States, Poker, France, and France. So they all took part in our destruction. The Kalina people are in Brazil. That's where they're from. And it comes from Hebrew 3641, Kalna, named after where they were from in Assyria. The Kalina people was named after where they were from Assyria. So when you say scattered, right? They came in and beat everybody's asses in wars over and over again, all throughout the lands, all throughout the Americas. And that's how they got scattered, and they got mingled with the people, and their color changed over time. And of course, it's going to be millions of people. That's how it works. So Guyana is a country located in the northeastern corner of South America. Indigenous peoples inhabited Guyana prior to European settlement, and their name for the land, Guyana, land of water, gave the country its name. Present-day Guyana reflects its British and Dutch colonial past and its reactions to that past. It is the only English-speaking country of South America since Guyana gained its independence in 1966. The country's chief economic assets have been its natural resources. So that's what they were coming after. The conquerors want the land for what is in the land, the treasures that are beneath the land. So that's the reasons why they do that. So the mineral resources of the Americas are many. Okay, so in America alone, the average annual value of mineral products, 1964 to 1968, let's say the average annual value in millions of dollars is 249 million in Alabama, 5 billion, 40 million in Texas, 3 billion 497 million in Louisiana. So we know that the people were forced to Louisiana too. The Creoles were forced to Louisiana and all throughout the Americas. That's just how it works. So when they started conquering, they became scattered all throughout the Americas, and they mingled with the conquerors as well a little bit. So these are the gold mines all throughout the United States. They're all everywhere. And this is what the people wanted from the Native Americans, that the Native Americans didn't feel it necessary to utilize these minerals. They didn't find a use for them. They didn't focus on sciences like the Europeans do. Okay, so many are called, few are chosen. Make no tarrying to turn to the Most High, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Most High come forth, and in your security you shall be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. The indigenous or northern kingdom or Joseph will rule Negroes or Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the southern kingdom. So you better respect them. Isaiah 11 and 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. All right, got that. So that's what the 12 tribe chart that Ariah put out for us, and it's the most effective teaching tool that we have ever seen in our nation in order to show people who they are and get them on board to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You see the tribe of Judah, tribe of Ephraim, tribe of Manasseh, the Cubans, the Puerto Ricans are Ephraim, the tribe of Benjamin, the Jamaicans, the West Indians, tribe of Issachar, the Mexicans, starting with the Afro-Mexicans and the mixed Mexican indigenous. All of these are indigenous peoples. Tribe of Levi, as taught by Ariah, are Haitians. Tribe of Naphtali are the Hawaiians and Samoans. Tribe of Reuben is Seminole Indians. Tribe of Zebulon is Panamanians and Colombians. Tribe of Asher is Brazilians and Argentinians. Tribe of Simeon are Dominicans, and the tribe of Gad, North American Indians. In order for Israel and Judah to become one nation again, you must concede the debate, Mikhael. And the credits. How much time I'm looking at? He's not gonna tell me. All right, so
Brother, you got a minute and 30 seconds.
in the lost tribes and promised lands, when Columbus met with varying people, right? They would respond. Here they responded, "Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power, the Most High is one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elohanu, Adonai Ehud." All right, so that's who he met whenever he came here. The Native Americans all throughout this land are Hebrews. So another reference is that in South America with Jews of the 10 tribes. Okay, so it says, strange to say, a Portuguese Marano of Villa Flor, who, strange to say, also called himself Montesinos and afterwards assumed the name Aaron Levi, informed Manasseh that he had mingled in South America with Jews of the 10 tribes. And that's in Christopher Columbus, the participation of the Jews in the Spanish and Portuguese discoveries. But how you gonna discover a land where it's already occupied? You can't. That's because the Israelites own it all. That's it.
All right. All right, we're gonna move forward to Mikhael. We're gonna set this timer for once again 15 minutes for your rebuttal. Family, whenever you're ready, you could begin your premise. I mean your rebuttal, Mikhael. Unmute your mic.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as y'all noticed, when y'all was checking out my brother's clapback, two things stood out. He ignored the whole body modification, the cuttings of the skin, which went against the script of prophecy that he read was that they would keep their own law. He skipped past that part. Second, what he did was he read he read a thing that said that Native Americans circumcised themselves. Did everybody hear me clearly? Because I see y'all in the chat saying y'all heard me kept putting emphasis on 8th day circumcision. You notice it didn't say 8th day circumcision in there, which would make it a Hebrew custom. Hell, ancient Egyptians circumcised, but they did it when they was 30 years old, 20 years old, or something like that. So that's null and void. So that was real smooth on how he did that. But to really just go ahead and drop the dagger, man, we've been having fun long enough, you know. My brother bringing that good information, making a good fight. So I'm going to have to do it to you, man. Going to have to do it to you. Luke chapter 21. Now, I want everybody that's a Bible scholar, especially if you know anything about the New Testament, this is about to be a problem. Because I know my brother agrees, because he knows the history, that the Northern Kingdom was casted out and, you know, they was kicked out, driven out by the Assyrians, right? They were already driven out. That's why a lot of brothers' argument is that the Gentiles in the New Testament is exclusively lost Israelites, right? And so the mission would be to recover the lost Israelites, right? I know my brother agrees with that, I believe. I don't want to bear false witness. So we have a problem, which is going to go strictly against what he just said, being that second Esdras or the Apocrypha is 440 years between the Old Testament and the New Testament. How could this happen? How could this blunder happen? So let's go to Luke, the 21st chapter, and I'm going to pick it up at verse 24. Listen to this, man. It says, let me see. But woe to them that are safe. Okay, it says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword. Okay. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the hands of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Now, that's no problem. We all know that in 70 AD, the Israelites, you know what I'm saying, fled Jerusalem. We know that, you know what I'm saying, people went into Africa and ended up in West Africa and all that. But here's where my contention comes at. Let's go to Acts, the 2nd chapter. Now, I want y'all to keep that in mind. This is Acts, the 2nd chapter. Here's where it's about to get ugly. Acts chapter 2. Now, mind you, he's saying that the Native Americans are northern kingdom Israelites that came over to Assyria, which is America. So, surely what I'm about to read right here, they should have been here. Acts chapter 2, and let me pick it up at 1. Acts chapter 2 and 1. Here's what it says. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. So these all the Israelites gathering up, even Jews from all over the world, right? Now watch this. Now, mind you, they said they made a pact to keep the law. And we know if you go to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, the law was 3 times a year, all Israelites had to come back to Jerusalem. You see what I'm saying? They all had to come back to Jerusalem. And so here you go, verse 2. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as on fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. Why did they speak with other tongues? Well, they would all speak in different languages because they were scattered to different parts of the earth. And America, according to him. But let's see what this says. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. So whatever major nation that they was in, they definitely should be here. It says, now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in his own tongue, wherein we were born? The Perinthians, watch these people he finna name, all the places, these some places where they were scattered at. The Perinthians and the Medes, and the Elamites, and the dwellers in Mesopotamia, and the Judea, and Cappadocia, and Pontus, and Asia, and Phrygia, and Pamphylia, and Egypt, and in parts of Libya, and in Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes. Watch this. Cretes and Arabians, because he's even in Arabia, we do hear them speak in our tongue the wonderful works of God. Now, my thing is, how on earth Assyria ain't get named, but they just forgot about them? Oh, you mean to tell me all them Israelites was over there in Assyria, but they not even on the list? They ain't make the cut? Come on, man. Let's skip down to verse 14. It says, but Peter standing up with the 11 lifted up his voice and said unto them, ye men of Judea, and all ye that dwell at Jerusalem, be this known unto you, and hearken my words. And so he's addressing that everybody that would have been keeping the law or trying to keep the law, come back to the law, that was Israelites, was devout Israelites from all over the world. Ain't no way they could have been in Assyria, that is America, and they not even be on the list. Like that law, especially the large population that he just ran down to us. So like, how is they missing out a whole New Testament history though? Like, I really don't understand that. But I'm gonna continue though. But like I said, he didn't address the 8th day circumcision. I give him a break on that one. But if anybody ever want to check, when I was reading Isaiah chapter 11 and it was naming off them people, you could go see like Hamath would be like modern day Syria. Shinar is mostly like parts of Iraq, ancient Babylon, you know what I'm saying, and Bosra. Elam, modern part Iran and that was Persia, Iran. Cush, of course, Ethiopia, you know what I'm saying, of course, and yes, Dan is over there, you know what I'm saying. Also, Pathros would be parts of Upper Egypt, and Assyria had always had the areas of Syria all the way to parts of Iraq. So when you look over there, you can see how if somebody, of course, according to let me go to this, the one I was looking for earlier, Zephaniah 3. That's what I was looking for. It says, give me 1 second. It says, for then will I turn to the people with pure language, and they may all call upon my name, the Lord, to serve him with one consent. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my supplants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring my offering. And if anybody know anything, if all you got to do is go look up the slave coast, you know, people talk about, you know, the Ivory Coast and all that, but all that is comprised within the slave coast. And the border stopped right in Ethiopia. That's how we get over to West Africa. It's even, the book is even telling you that. So you not, you know what I'm saying? You get, this is why I say the 12 tribes chart is not legit, because it just leaves too many answers. It leaves too many questions unanswered. Also, I like to go back to Isaiah the 11th chapter, because I know my brother Solar is definitely going to be picking these up. So I want to go back to Isaiah the 11th chapter and take a look at one more little thing. So let me see. Isaiah 11, and let me go back to verse 13, and this is what it said. I started 12. It said, he shall set up an ensign of the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Verse 13, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Now, if you ever look at the Israelites that's over in Africa that we know of, like the Igbos, you know what I'm saying? The Igbos, the Ashanti, the Falashas, which is called Beta Israel over in Ethiopia, which is more likely the tribe of Dan. The Lembas that's over in South Africa. You got the Ga, you got the Yoruba. When you ever look at these people and they realize that, you know, that we're Israelites over here, we're kin to them, the first thing they do is see that chart. And they like, man, why I'm not on that chart? You know, they feel some type of way. And then you got the brothers over here saying, more than likely, it's just a little bitty pinch of Israelites over there because it say remnant. You know what I'm saying? And so they're more than likely some dirt, some musty Africans or something like that. That's the beef that's going on. When in reality, when you look, when it talks about a remnant, it calls us a remnant for the simple fact we're not all together anymore. That's another thing that go against what he just tried to put out there, which I'm definitely going to address in the question and answer round. But you can go look through, let me see. As a matter of fact, go there real quick. Let me see. Jeremiah chapter 31. Let me see. Go there, Jeremiah chapter 31 real quick. How much time I got left, bro?
You have approximately 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, cool. All right, Jeremiah 31. And let me see. 6 through 10. Jeremiah 31, 6 through 10. Okay, yeah, I want to read this real quick. It says, let me see. It says, for there shall be a day that the watchman upon the mount of Ephraim shall cry, arise, and let us go up to Zion, the Lord our God. But thus saith the Lord, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publicly praise ye, saith, O Lord, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. So he called, you know what I said, like Israel, I can go to about 5 more spots where he called us all a remnant anyway, because we're not together. Remember in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and and 25, 28 and 25, it lets you know that we're gonna be small. We're gonna be small amongst the nations that we scattered. Meaning, although it's a lot of us collectively, wherever, for the most part, where we're scattered at, we're usually the minority, as in comparisons to the other nations. So, verse 8, it says, "Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coast of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame and the woman with the child and her that travaileth, and the child together, a great company shall return thither. They shall come with weeping, and with supplications will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of the waters in the straight way wherein they shall not stumble, for I am the father of Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn." Why did I read that? Because I know my brother probably liked that, but it literally lines up with Isaiah 11, verse 11 through 14. That's what it's talking about, the waterway is going to pass from. It's going to be an ensign through these areas. So the chart, although, you know, it has some, like he said, it has a good hook for it where it can bring you in and teach. But I think once it hook you, the more you start looking into it, you're going to have to kind of question it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to question it if you're being sincere. So also, I just wanted to say something too. Let's read. I want to go to Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23, because my brother read earlier where it talked about where he compared the Israelites to the Ethiopians, which we both agreed on that they were black-skinned people. Jeremiah 13 and 23 will confirm it even more. This is why he compared them to the Ethiopian. It says, "Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? No, he cannot, and neither can the Israelites." That's why we were compared to him. So I'm glad you went there. It says, "Then may ye also do good that is accustomed to doing evil." So no, the Ethiopian can't change his black skin, just like a leopard can't change his black spots. That's why God said, "O children of Israel, are you not like the Ethiopians unto me? And we had never waxed pale. We looked the way we still looked for the most part." For the most part, you're gonna have your exceptions, but basically that's my time right there.
All right, time. All right. Now that everybody got their premise and their rebuttals out of the way, let's get into that interrogation. Since claim your heritage went first, we will allow Mikhael to do the interrogation first. We want to set this timer for 10 minutes. And whenever you're ready, Mikhael, you can ask Claim your first question.
Okay, shalom, brother Claim.
Shalom.
Yeah, good presentation, brother. Good presentation. Could you go to Luke chapter 21 for me, what I read earlier? You go to Luke chapter 21, and let me see. Yeah, that was Luke 21, and I wanted to know, bro. I mean, I take that back. I'm sorry, not Luke 21, Acts 2. My bad, wrong one. Acts 2. That was the last one I read, Acts chapter 2.
Okay, what verse?
So, basically, you ain't got to read all of it, but you could just go to you could just start from just read verse 8 through 11.
Okay, Acts 2.
Yeah.
Verse 8. "And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born? Parthians and Medes and Elamites and the dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea and Cappadocia, in Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our own tongues the wonderful works of our power."
Okay. Hey, my question is the obvious. Being that, you know, this time, according to what you were saying, because it only took them a year and a half, and second Esdras 1340 through 45. It only took them a year and a half, which is amazing in itself. You got to go around Russia and the Bering Strait and all that. But that being said, it only took them a year and a half to get to Assyria. And of course, we know they had been cast out by the Assyrians by the time that this is written in Acts chapter 2. So my question to you is, where are the Israelites from Assyria?
They in the Americas, like I presented all night.
No, what I'm saying is, why didn't Peter name any of them here?
Oh, in this passage, because the when they escaped the Assyrian captivity, they fled in all directions. So 100% of them did not escape at the exact same time and whatnot. And the ones that went in ships, they went to the Americas and other locations, Australia and everywhere else. But the sign is focused on the Americas.
Okay, I get that the sign. I know we quite clear on that the sign is focused on the Americas. That's my whole problem that I'm having. That's the problem I always had with the chart. Being that they were in the Americas, how is it during a vital time like this where it specifically said that devout Jews, and we know that could have been a generic term just for Israelites, period. It don't have to just be the kingdom of Judah. It said that the Jews from all over the world, gathered to this place. How is it that not one of them from Assyria or America was there if they was keeping the law?
Well, they kept the law for one thing, and then for two, it would take a year and a half to get there. So I mean, they were building their own civilization over here. They knew that the temple had got destroyed. Remember?
So basically saying all the other Israelites was basically accustomed to coming, but the ones that went to Assyria just basically said they were just gonna stay there and just not come back to the land at no point, period.
Right, pretty much. But if you want to include the Northern Kingdom in the devout Jews statement, which we know that Jews come from Judah and that the Judites, the Southern Kingdom, escaped the Babylonian captivity as well. So there was only a remnant in Jerusalem and in Israel left. So even the Judites were up there in Europe and all the rest of these places around here. You see. So, but if you want to say that these are Northern Kingdom Israelites, that's fine too. But I mean, the ones they were scattered to the four corners of the earth along with Judah. I don't know why you are saying that they're not.
Okay, that's cool. All right. I'd like to also ask you, are you aware of the Book of Mormon?
Yeah.
Okay. And in the first book, in the Book of Mormon, it's called the Book of Nephi. I know you're probably familiar with it. Nephi. It say, I'm paraphrasing. It says, a family of Israelites fled Jerusalem in 600 BC. The father's name was Lehi. He's supposedly a descendant of Joseph. And when you go to First Nephi, chapter 17, verse 8, it says, the Lord spake unto me, saying, construct a ship after the manner which I shall show thee, that I might carry thy people across these waters. So my question is, do you think that the Book of Mormon, being that they were some of the first people to ever say that the Native Americans were Israelites, of course, they all also said that we was cursed Canaanites and all that type of stuff. Do you think that the Book of Mormon could have had anything to do, any type of influence with the 12 tribes chart that Ariana made?
I'm not familiar with them being accepting those records. I don't know if they did or didn't.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Okay, let me ask you this. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. I had a question because I heard you earlier. You kind of alluded to the situation that's going on with the racism and a lot of the Latin American countries that our brothers are in, because we both agree that we have people there. We're just trying to determine exactly who it is. So what I'm asking you is, you kind of alluded to it being more of a colorism thing than a racism thing. So Deuteronomy 28 and 43, I read this a couple of times today. I did it for a reason. I would like to ask you, brother, what, according to this, it says, let me read it. It says, the stranger that is within thy,
what are you reading?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43.
Okay.
It says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And it lets you know in the next verse, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and pursue thee. So if this is a sign letting us know who the Israelites are, my question is, who are the strangers amongst, let's say, the Mexicans that's Israelites? Who are these strangers that's up over them very high that can lend unto them, like who has the financial control, can lend unto them, but they can't lend unto them? So which I'm just gonna use Mexico as an example. What people would you say that is over there?
Okay, first I gotta clarify something because you misheard me. I wasn't speaking about colorism or nor racism, not one time tonight. What I was describing about them having lighter complexion is that they mingled with the people because they put themselves, you know what I'm saying, in that type of situation where and had forgotten their heritage and their laws and became corrupt in all these things. So they began to marry interracially, and that's how those millions of people lighten their skin tone. Now, what was your question about this?
Okay, all right, man, and I apologize if I misunderstood what point that you were making. So you wasn't really going towards the colorism thing. Well, I guess that was general for everybody who always do that. My question is, if you take a country like Mexico, for example,
who's high, who's over them that's lending to them and things of that nature, right?
Right, because it says the stranger amongst them. It's not talking about like an outside entity. So who's around that community of Israelites that's over them that can lend to them?
That would be the Europeans.
Which one?
Namely the Jewishers and the Portuguese, all the Edomite dominated European countries.
Time. All right, so we're gonna switch this thing over. We're gonna give Claim Your Heritage 10 minutes. Claim, whenever you're ready, you can begin your interrogation, brother.
Okay. I guess my first question would have to be a surprise agreement that we had here. Okay, so you said Latinos are Israelites. Okay, so are they the Northern Kingdom or the Southern Kingdom?
Do you want me to specify what I mean by Latinos?
Yeah, I will, but I want you to link them to Israel. You said they're Israelites, so are they the Northern Kingdom or the Southern Kingdom?
I'm saying they're the kingdom of Judah. That's between Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, all the Afro Latinos.
I was hoping that you answered improperly like that. Okay, so now in Jeremiah 50:33.
I knew you was gonna go there.
Yeah, of course. You got no choice. Jeremiah 50:33, it says, "Thus says the Most High of Armies, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together." So when you see that word "were," you do realize what that how that's rendered, correct? That a prophecy is talked about in past tense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a future prophecy, right?
I'll answer the question.
Okay, so if they were pressed together,
Actually, I'll show you. It's actually a dual prophecy. It happened once historically, and it's happening again right now. And I'll show you where it said. It ain't where you think it said.
okay, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. And there's another verse that says they furthered the affliction. So now, do you accept that the Northern Kingdom are in the Americas? If so, how can we identify them by their bywords today? What are they called today?
Well, for the most part, I believe that the Southern Kingdom is over here. I'm not saying that it's not some over here, but I believe those prophecies are specifically dealing with the Southern Kingdom coming over here. So to answer your question, because it's kind of like two questions, if you go to concerning Jeremiah 50 and 17, we could go to the first part. Let's see. Jeremiah 50 and 33 says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast, and refused to let them go." Let's go. Jeremiah chapter 50. So you got that right. I read 50 and 33. Now listen to this. Jeremiah 50 and 17. "Israel is a scattered sheep, and the lions have driven him away. First, the king of Assyria have devoured him, and last, this king Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon have broken his bones." So if you look historically, even if you dealt with what happened with King Hezekiah, you know that when the Assyrians came through, they already had Israel. They came through and started literally conquering between the times of even Sennacherib and Shalmaneser. They went through conquering town after town after town, and by the time they made it to try to take over Judea, take over Jerusalem, Hezekiah cried out to the Lord, and an angel came and put a plague on it. So this has actually happened more times than people think it has. And even if you want to bring it to modern day times, you can find 10 tribes of Ephraim, and you can find some of the dispersed of Judah over in the land of Africa, all in captivity together right now.
Okay,
and they've been
so
trying to go back to Israel for the longest, and they won't let them. My last part was they've been trying to go back to Israel for the longest, and they won't let them.
okay, so now you are trying to put the Assyrian kingdom being the same rulers as the Babylonian kingdom, saying that the Judah and Assyria were oppressed together, but that's not the case, brother. You see what I'm saying? Because Manasseh, the king of Judah, have done these abominations and have done wickedly above all that the Amorites did, which were before him, and have made Judah also to sin with his idols. So Manasseh was the king at that time. So because of his offense, the northern kingdom went into captivity first under Assyria. So we know good and well that the Assyrian kings list are completely different people than the Babylonian kings list. And the Assyrian kings list is Sennacherib, Tilgath, Pilzer the third, Asher Benapal, Sargon the second, when they escaped, and Arshadon. And then in the Babylonian kings list, you don't see any of those names. You see Nebuchadnezzar the second, Nabonidus, Hammurabi, Sennacherib, and Amel Marduk. So why are you trying to put them in the same captivity under the same rulers? That don't make any sense at all.
You don't even get, I don't think you get what I was saying, brother. When you look at it, when it tell us, it say that they were in captivity together. Both of the Israelites was in captivity at the same time. That's the point I'm making. And when I added to that point, I said, even if you look over there in Africa today, you have Israelites from the tribe of Judah. Because remember, in Deuteronomy 28 and in Deuteronomy the 32nd chapter, it tell us that Judah would be scattered to the four corners. Well, you asking questions. Judah would be scattered to the four corners. So Judah is in Africa to this day, and so is Ephraim. The 10 tribes is in Africa to this day. Do you not agree with that?
Of course. But we're talking about the Americas. We're talking about the 12 tribe chart. that focuses on the Americas. So, of course, you have Israelites in every single country on the face of the planet, and they are very, very easy to identify based on their customs and their languages. Before the conquerors came in and took away their Hebrew languages and Hebrew roots and Hebrew heritages. You see what I'm saying? So this happened historically over and over and over again, where the Hellenists made the Israelites not allowed to practice their customs at all. Remember?
Right, right.
Okay, so that's the same thing that happened after the book was sealed, and for the time of the end, for us to look back and clearly see what happened to our people in order to reach out to them in the Americas and unify with them, because they're gonna be the ones ruling. Ephraim rules, remember? So who is Ephraim? Who's the ruler?
You say Ephraim rules when?
At the end. He's the top king of the top of Israel. You want me to show you in the text?
You do realize that the first ruler of the 10 tribes was Ephraim, right?
Oh, so you saying you're a preterist now? You're a full preterist now?
Oh, brother, that's literally simple prophecy understanding. Like when you go back and read history, that's why he even calls the whole
brother.
10.
When Jacob,
listen to what I'm saying. This is why he even calls the northern kingdom 10 tribes Ephraim sometimes. Do you think every time he say Ephraim, he literally talking about the tribe of Ephraim? No, sometimes he's talking about
all 10 tribes. I know that. But what I'm telling you is that Ephraim is going to be the one ruling. Don't you? I thought you knew that. Okay, but you don't.
No,
okay.
I have
don't worry about it. I'm going to show you.
I have no problem with that. What's the next question?
Oh, you don't have no problem with that. Okay. So then we're going to have to be able to identify these people, brother.
Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me show you how this is going to be identified. Real simple. Here we go. 1 second. You can turn right over to Revelation. Show you exactly how this is going to happen. I'm glad you asked that too. Most High going to make sure we be able to identify it. 1 second. Okay. Revelations, you got your sword?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, Revelations 20. My bad. Here we go. Revelations 21. It says Revelations chapter 20. Let me see. Okay. This works. Dang, I can't find it. Oh boy. My bad, I can't find it.
Time.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to both debaters. We're going to get into the closing. Now we're going to get into the closing. We're going to start out with claim your inheritance. We're going to set the stage for 5 minutes. Whenever you're ready, brother, you could begin your closing.
Okay, so we learned tonight that the REI chart is legit. Our dear brother and most valued member of Judah, Mikhael ben Yisrael, did not refute any of the information that I brought out, which was the Americas, focusing on the Americas. So he stayed in Europe and Africa to bring out those informations that most Israelites already accept, and this is why IUIC and others have been over there to Africa and Ghana and stuff like that in order to teach the people there, the airway people, and things of that nature. So, I mean, that's not a part of the debate at all. So we clearly see that the that the Northern Kingdom came to the Americas when they escaped the Assyrian captivity. We saw that clearly, and so I don't know what else to say. I mean, he agrees with four different groups: the the Negroes, the Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and the Latinas. But he says the Afro Latinas are Israelites, and but he calls them Judah. So I don't know how he came to that conclusion. He hasn't shown anything that to say how he concluded that information. So I have shown that the indigenous people lived here since the 700s, and then over time they corrupted. And he tried to say that I ignored that part. I said that uh, they kept their laws until the conquerors came in, and then they became corrupted. So even before the conquerors came in, about 1200s or the 14 or whatever, whenever they were going to visit those locations, they were using magic and divination to cutting out people's hearts and stuff like that, and trying to sacrifice uh, to the Most High in order to get these conquistadors and conquerors away from them. But of course, that's useless. It didn't work because you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the only way that you become free. That's the only way that you get success. That's it.
All right, all right. Shout out to Claim Your Inheritance for dropping that science. We're going to now hand this thing over to Mikhael, brother Mikhael. Set the timer for 5 minutes. Whenever you're ready, you can begin your closing, brother. Unmute your mic.
Yeah, like I was saying, yeah, shout out to the brother, man. Good debate. But like I said, I made it quite clear that one of the reasons is that the 12 tribes chart, he couldn't, I wasn't quite satisfied with his answer about Acts chapter 2, because being that they were going out to gather the lost sheep of Israel, they definitely Asherah should have been there. Also, I did clearly state how Judah would be over here, because I read in at least 3 spots that Judah would be scattered to the 4 corners, and you need ships to do that. That's how Israelites got in Mexico. That's how Israelites got in Venezuela. That's how Israelites got in Cuba. That's how Israelites got in Brazil, which is the largest place with the most Israelites. But you don't even see that on the modern day 12 tribe chart. They just like forgotten. They not even on that. And so I did explain how they the Afro Latinos would have gotten over there, and they would have been either Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, being that they got scattered by ships. Also, I was trying to I was looking for something at the end when a brother had asked me how would we know about the what tribe is what at the end. And the cool thing about it is it really is a self-cut. It kills the whole argument that we know exactly who all 12 are right now, because when you go to Revelations, for some reason my mind went blank and I couldn't find it, which rarely happens to me. But when you go to Revelations, it tells us that there will be 12 gates with the names of the 12 tribes. So it's going to be the Most High that's going to decipher and break down exactly who is from what tribe and where. You see what I'm saying? He knows better than us. He got a real chart. If y'all want to go off a 12 tribes chart, get the one that's in heaven, man. That's in heaven. His joint ain't got no mistakes on it. He ain't going to have to come back later and write Isaiah 11:11 in the corner like IUIC did. He ain't gonna have to flip-flop it and make Reuben go from from I believe it is the Seminoles, and then when you look on another chart, he then turned it to the Aboriginal Australians. You see what I'm saying? So you wouldn't have to do that. And another thing my brother wasn't able to make sense out of, and I'm glad he was very truthful. And when I asked him about the stranger coming up over the Israelites, wherever they scattered at, and being able to lend to them, but them not being able to lend back, right before the deadline buzzer went off, he admitted, he said it. He said, those are the Europeans. So he just admitted that those in Mexico that we're saying are Issachar, some of them are Europeans. Some of them are Europeans by his own admission, but you never see the Afro-Mex. And that's really what I'm doing. Not so as much banging on the 12 tribes chart, but actually trying to bring equality and fairness to our Israelite brothers that scattered all throughout Latin America who don't get looked at. They don't get brought up. You know, nobody has their women out there. You know what I'm saying? It almost seems like brothers just want exotic booty sometimes. And so they slap an Israelite on. But when you look at the facts of the scriptures, and I'm not saying that about my beloved brother, I'm not saying that about Claim. But if you look at the scriptures with the prophecies, you see what I'm saying? As far as the sign of how the Israelites are going to be identified, then, you know, you got two different people in most of Latin America, just like you got two different people in America. So if that's the case, we could say that the white American over here is an Israelite. You know why? Because you could say, hey, man, look, we went on slave ships over into America. You know what I'm saying? You know, them just light-skinned Jakes. It's the same thing that happened in Mexico with the conquistadors and the Spaniards. All of a sudden, they just disappear, huh? Like they don't even exist no more. But our brother just said that it's Europeans over there ruling over the Mexicans. So that really just helped my case right there. You see what I'm saying? And so with that, man, you know, I enjoyed the debate. You know what I'm saying? I hope I brought enough to be able to convince the audience and edify the people. If not, you know, I know somebody was edified by it. And again, shout out to my brother Claim. Man, I enjoyed it. All praise to the Most High.
Time. Thanks a lot. Very excellent debate, family. Now it's time for the interrogation, family. Time for the interrogation. All right, so you already know how this goes. Let me know if you want me to interrogate first. 1 for Mikhael, 2 for Claim Your Inheritance, family. 1 for Mikhael, 2 for Claim Your Inheritance. I'm seeing all deuces. Hoover deuce, we keeping them. All right. We get the point. We're going to start out with Claim Your Inheritance. Y'all crazy, man. We're going to start out with Claim Your Inheritance. We get the point. Y'all crazy. I got a little strep throat too, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So, with that being said, family. Yo. All right. So, what's up, Clay?
What up? Who's populating?
All right, brother. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:43. Deuteronomy 28:43. You there?
Yeah.
It says, the stranger that is within thee, shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. All right. According to Brother Mikhael, he's saying that this was speaking of the situation that you may have going on in Latina America, and he classified specifically the Afro Latinas, them being a distinct group from the other Latinas. So my question to you, brother, is do you make that distinction?
Okay, well, that's not as clear as I repeat it. Repeat it.
Do you make a distinction between Afro Latinas and other Latinas?
Yes.
All right, so on the 12 tribes chart, what tribe is the Latinas?
Ephraim.
Ephraim.
That's the Northern Kingdom.
Okay. So does that comprise of only Afro Latinas?
Not only, no.
Okay, so my question is, how do you make that distinction between? Okay, let's start from this. All right, how did the Afro Latinas get there?
The Afro Latinas, all Israelites, if they keep the law, statutes, commandments, are black people.
Now, how did they get to that region? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, well, yeah, the Northern Kingdom got there. Okay, so Ephraim is a part of the Northern Kingdom. So they escaped Assyria in 718 BC, and then went over the Pacific Ocean to the Americas.
All right, so name me some of the of the Latina tribes. Name me some of them today.
Okay, you got the Taino and the Arawak. That's just two simple ones. Speaking about specifically the Puerto Ricans, but you got a lot of indigenous tribes that are in Central America, Mexico as well.
Okay, so you're saying that the you said Ephraim?
Yes.
Okay, so the tribe of Ephraim came over here, you said in 1800 BC?
And yeah, 718 BC.
718 BC. And that comprised of the Native Americans, some of the Native Americans, and some you said Puerto Ricans. You talking about over in like Puerto Rico?
Yeah, see, all Native Americans are Israelites. So except for the Mongolian ones and the white ones.
Okay. All right, so do you believe that those areas was colonized by the Spanish, the Portuguese, and
yeah, absolutely. That's exactly why it says that the stranger that came and colonized them will get up very high, and they're gonna land. You know what I mean? Because the Jewishers.
Okay, so how would you be able to make that distinction between the
customs and the languages of the indigenous peoples there?
So you
they spoke Hebrew.
They all speak a form of Spanish, and some call it Puerto Rican. And how would
you before Columbus got there, they were speaking Hebrew, and that's it. So, but they also kept biblical customs as well, huh?
So you saying that some today speak Hebrew?
Maybe not.
So once again, how would you be able to identify those Hebrews as opposed to the colonizer? Do you believe that you are the seed of your father? You believe that?
Yes.
Okay, so how would you be able to make that distinction then? Like what?
Right.
Okay. Colonizer come, and how would you be able to make that distinction?
Okay, so if the daughters of Israel marry a Spaniard, then their children instantly becomes another nation. But of course, the daughters were Ephraim. But then the men, they stay Ephraim, long as they don't keep interracially dating forever. If they continue to marry within the tribe uh, over and over again, then they stay dark and they stay Ephraim.
All right. So once again, how would you be able to make the distinction between the colonizer seed and the original Hebrew seed? Because it's all
Oh
mixed.
yeah, that's when like on a case by case basis that we determine that. So we ask
You
if
said a
we would,
case by case basis.
yeah, we would have to, yeah, as a whole, we know that the dark ones were Ephraim. So then they interracially dated and became a light skinned race of people. So, but if we meet one person and ask them, is your father of Spaniard descent or if he indigenous descent that was here before Columbus? And if they answer, we are indigenous descent, then we know or we have a clue that they are Israelites. We know that they're Israelites.
So it's just based off of what they say. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, if they can verify, trying to take, for example, saying that giving them the benefit of the doubt that they telling us the truth, because of course people will naturally be proud of their heritage and they will say, "Well, no, my father's Spaniard,
How you
so I'm
want
the
to
man."
just giving them the benefit of the doubt based off of what they're saying. Do you know what a $5 Indian is?
Absolutely.
Okay, so explain to me what a $5 Indian is.
A $5 Indian is a group of w- w- white or mulatto people that have um, white fathers that created hundreds of thousands of mulatto and white um, indigenous peoples here recently, and
Right.
then they continue to claim to be Indians.
Okay, so based off of that fact, how can we just go with what somebody's saying and just take it for the benefit of the doubt when you have people lying about their origin?
Because if we fact check them and see that their father is or great grandfather or their grandfather is indeed not an Israelite or not a dark person, which is an Israelite, you see, they're a white man,
So we have to
clearly from Germany or clearly from some white dominated European country, and we find that in their
So you're saying that this would have to go back to their heritage would have to go back to a dark person. That's what you're saying.
yeah, within 4 generations.
Within 4 generations. Okay. Can this be verified anyway through any documentation or any video that you have with by Aria? This criteria?
The, no, the criteria is in the whited out series that it explains it because the um the iniquities of the children will visit us for the to the third and fourth generation. You see, so it breaks that down very clearly that the sin of interracial dating
I'm trying to
uh,
understand.
whites out your.
Trying to understand.
Let me get it out. Let me get it out. Let me get it out. The Israelite, your Israelite blood starting here gets whited out by white people. A man marries a white woman. All right, let me show you. If a man marries a white woman, then their son is mulatto or mixed, we call it. And then if that man marries a quadroon, marries a white woman, then there's this man's grandson is a quadroon. So this man marries a white woman. This man's great grandson is an octoroon. And then if this man marries a white woman, then they have effectively whited out their DNA, their bloodline out of the system, out of their
What are you talking about right now?
body. Exactly what I just said.
Yeah, but what does it have to do with what I'm asking you?
What? Okay, what did you ask me?
You don't even know what the hell I'm asking you. You sitting up there rambling for 5 minutes about the answer or something. You don't even know what I'm asking.
What did you ask me, brother?
It's an art to listening. You don't even know what I asked you.
You're not gonna tell me?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. What I was trying to figure out is, once again, what is this criteria? And you're giving me two answers. You're giving me this whited out theory that I'm waiting for you to show how that's connected to REI's theory. Is he saying this? Did he come up with the whited out theory? But then before that, you said that, well, you are what your father is. So is it the whited out theory, or is it you are what your father is? You're saying two things, brother.
I'm not saying two things.
Yeah, because I mean,
I'm
if
answering your question very clearly, brother.
If it's the father theory, then it doesn't matter what color they is, as long as it's the seed of the father. But if it's the
It
white
does
out,
matter what color they are, because
okay,
an Israelite is not white.
Which one is it?
An Israelite is not white, brother.
Okay, so what? Is it
They
the
start
white
off
out?
looking like this.
So you're saying
It comes from the Bible, brother.
Okay, so you're telling me two things. That's what I'm saying. Is it the seed of the father, or is it the whited out theory? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The way that all comes from the Bible, okay? The way that we keep track of our heritage is by the generations of our fathers, right? So if you continue to sin, according to Deuteronomy 5 and 9, thou shalt not bow down themselves and idols, and iniquity of the fathers upon the children until the third and fourth generation is how it's reckoned of them that hate me. So that means they're sinning. Neither shalt thou make them your daughter shall.
12 tribe chart for me.
Okay.
Yeah, put up the 12 tribe chart.
So was that clear? You didn't even let me finish the answer. Was that clear? They both come from the Bible. So this is how we reckon that these people are Israelites, because they still have lots of melanin in them. And they were originally Israelites, like their great grandfathers and stuff are dark people.
Yeah, can you pull up the 12 tribe chart for me?
Why you not saying that I answered that?
I gotta confirm whether I agree or not.
No, you just say that it was a clear answer or something. Not you don't have to agree just yet until you know.
No, I still don't know what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, I'm serious. If you want me to answer, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're saying that is it a whited out theory? And you're saying that, well,
I'm saying that the Bible tells us
genetically, the first generation, if you have sex, it could be a black father. It could be a black father having sex with a white woman, and the child could come out light skinned, like light as hell.
That's correct. Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I'm not understanding this whole theory. Like you're saying that chart that you had, well, that's accurate 100%. So I'm not understanding that. I'm not understanding how are you connecting that to the REI's chart. I'm not understanding that you have this criteria of the 4 generations, and it's like you're taking apples and oranges and mixing it up with some tropical punch Kool-Aid right now. This is what I'm hearing right now. So I want you to be more clear.
It's an art to listening, brother. Okay, so
I just said everything that you was trying to break down. So I listened. I just don't understand how you're connecting that to REI's chart, 12 tribe chart. That's what I'm saying.
Because what I'm telling you is that there's a
you're not the chart for me, brother.
Oh man, why are you not allowing me to answer the question, brother?
Because I want to hear I want to see the 12 tribe chart. It shouldn't take that long. I mean,
it's up there. It's on the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. We're okay. Okay, so The tribe of Judah. You're saying that they're African American. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so where are all these people coming from?
The southern kingdom, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. These, you see how they all dark races? Very dark, because they keep the laws better, even though we're all corrupt now. We keep the laws better, better. So we stay dark.
Where
We
did they
don't generally marry interracially. So that's the important key that you're missing. That the interracial marriage causes the light skin on a mass scale of the other tribes.
So you're saying that the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Levi, and the tribe of Benjamin, where did they come from before they were here in the Americas?
They came from Africa, and the northern kingdom came from Assyria, which is all the other tribes.
Right. So Levi came from Africa, Benjamin came from Africa, and Judah came from Africa.
Yes.
All right. So where did you get the classification that was being used by Mikhael, Afro-Latina?
Afro-Latina, I mean, he made it clear that Afro-Latinas, he thinks that they are Judites. So they came from Africa, but then you have...
I'm saying, what did you say?
I'm saying that the indigenous peoples have been here since the 700s BC. They've always been here since that time. That's a very long time that they lived in the Americas.
So you're saying that the people who are labeled as Afro-Latinas are under the classification of Ephraim?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not all of you can't generalize every single 100% of these people. They're mixed together with the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom.
Right. So are you saying that the Afro-Latinas are Judites mixed with Judah?
Nah, the Afro-Latinas, some of them are indigenous peoples who are the northern kingdom that came here a long time ago, and then some of them stayed in that area from the transatlantic slave trade. So they're not indigenous, and they're not called Indians. They're from the slave trade. So they landed over there in the slave trade.
So they was brought over here too during the slave trade.
Yeah, the Afro-Latinas.
The Afro-Latinas. So are they Judah or Benjamin, or are they Levi?
The majority of indigenous or Indian Latinas in Mexico and everywhere else in the world. Huh?
We'll make it easy. We're talking about Ephraim.
Yeah, Ephraim is strictly the Indians.
But that says Puerto Rican right there.
Right. So when you use the byword of Puerto Rican, that's where the confusion of the people come in, because if we're going to call everybody Puerto Ricans, which is a byword, that's not their original name.
I got it. But you have Afro-Latinas.
You have to look into the population in order to determine
amongst the Puerto Rican race. Where did they come from?
They came from the tribe. They came from two different locations.
Where?
They come from their parents. So if you got say you got 20 people, it might be 10 people not might have, but you know what I'm saying? When you asking me to generalized. So they are mixed together.
The 12 tribe chart, brother, not me. I'm just trying to get clarification.
Huh? Yeah, well, okay. Well, I'm trying to tell you, and you keep cutting me off. So now,
Afro-Latinas, you're not answering the question.
huh?
Where did the Afro-Latinas come from?
I'm gonna tell you again.
Please tell me again.
All right. So they come from both the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. So they are originally dark people. So they mixed with different people to make them lighter.
Oh, so they come from both the northern and the southern kingdom.
That's correct.
Okay, so you're saying that they're mixed between the two.
They mixed with the
Ephraim from the northern.
Oh man, you gonna cut me off every time I try to speak, brother?
Brother, you was quiet, brother. If they come,
I'm not quiet at all.
Nick saw that. Is Ephraim from the northern or the southern kingdom?
Both. All right.
Ephraim is from the northern and southern kingdom. You're saying?
That's what I've been saying the whole time. So now you got the stranger that is within them, which is the Europeans came in and amalgamated with them and made their skin lighter. So if they have Spaniard fathers mixed with a indigenous mother, then their child is European according to REI's chart. But if they have indigenous father and a European mother, then that child is a Israelite according to REI's chart.
Yeah. So tell me the tribes that are from the northern kingdom.
Okay, you got Ephraim, Manasseh, Issachar, Naphtali, Reuben, Zebulun, Asher, Simeon, and Gad.
And tell me the tribes that are from the southern kingdom.
Judah, Benjamin, and Levi.
What tribe is Ephraim from?
Ephraim is the name of the tribe.
I mean, what part is Ephraim from? Northern or southern?
Northern and southern. No, the Puerto Ricans are northern and southern.
Right.
So I mean, so are Judites and all types of other people. We mixed up together, but this is accurate and extremely accurate.
Right. You seem to be very confused, brother.
I'm not confused at all.
Yeah, because you just said two things.
Uh-huh.
I listened very carefully. I said, tell me the ones from the northern kingdom. You said Ephraim, Manasseh, and I said, name me the kings for the southern kingdom. You said Judah, Benjamin, Levi. I said, what tribe is Ephraim from? I mean, what place is Ephraim from? You said both northern and southern. Is that not confusing the hell out of persons trying to get clarification?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to clarify for you, because you're not listening. You're not listening. See how you cut me off every time I try to answer your question?
Bro, we heard your answer.
You didn't hear nothing. I'm trying to answer this last question that you're saying. I said, I see how you're confused.
What you're going to stop doing is...
I see how you're confused.
And then when
I'm trying to clarify it for you.
Answers, you're going to say, well, let me explain. I gave you time to explain. You're saying two things.
No, you haven't.
Yes, you... Yo, once again, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. Because you're going to give me some... I guarantee you, you're going to give me a different answer. Name me the Northern Kingdom.
Huh?
Tell me the Northern Kingdom.
The Northern Kingdom is Ephraim, Manasseh, Naphtali, Reuben, Issachar, Zebulun, Asher, Simeon, and Gad.
Name me the Southern Kingdom.
Right. And so what you're not getting is
Name me the Southern Kingdom.
The Southern, see?
Name me the Southern Kingdom.
Allow me to answer fully, then it's just crazy, bro.
Name me the Southern Kingdom.
Judah, Benjamin, and Levi.
Okay. Where does Ephraim come from?
Ephraim is the name of the tribe. When they got to Puerto Rico, there were white
Northern
people.
or southern?
Oh my God, the Northern Kingdom, brother.
Okay, I see exactly. You said they was both northern and southern. Then you said they was northern. Now you're saying they northern and southern. Now
No, that's a lie. That's a
you
lie. You
said,
said
that Ephraim was northern and southern. Everybody,
mute your mic. Mute your mic, man. That's a lie. You said the Afro Latinas, not Ephraim. You said the Afro Latinas. You, brother.
This is what we do.
You said,
one, if you heard claim, say that.
Oh man, see, you said the Afro Latinas, brother. You said the Afro Latinas.
Ephraim. I said, where does Ephraim come? You said northern and southern. Press 1 if you heard him say Ephraim is northern and southern.
Brother, you kept saying the Afro Latinas. So I was answering your Afro Latina question. The Afro Latinas are both the northern and the southern.
Everybody's wrong and you're right. That's what you're saying?
No, listen, brother. If you let me finish a full answer, you can hear it clearly.
If you say it clearly, then
I'm trying to say it clearly, but you keep cutting me off.
Because you're not making any sense because you're saying two things. How can I look? Just think about this. How can
Stop
I move
talking so I can answer?
How can I move on and not ask for clarity when you're
allowing me to answer?
Go and let you go and say two things. I'm
not allowing me to answer. You're not allowing me to answer. So your question was the Afro Latinas. You kept saying the Afro Latinas. So the Afro, don't even try it. Don't even try it, liar. The Afro Latinas are in Puerto Rico and all this.
We're moving on. We're moving on since I'm a liar.
Yeah, you are lying because you said the Afro Latinas.
I'm lying. You're right.
Yeah, you kept saying the Afro Latinas. That's just one. That's just one part of it.
Thanks a lot, brother. Thanks a lot, brother. You're right. I'm a liar.
Oh, so you're not gonna admit that you lied and you said Afro Latinas?
Yeah. All right. Mikhael. What's going on, brother?
Peace, my brother, man. My peace. I'm just being peaceful, man.
All right. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33.
Yes, sir. Give me 1 minute. I should have just had the book open because I knew you was going there anyway. Okay. I'm here.
All right. Jeremiah 50. Hold on a second. Strap throat. Jeremiah 50, verse 33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go." All right, brother. Do you subscribe to certain aspects of the 12 tribe chart?
No, because I already knew that Judah, Benjamin, and Levi was in the West before I knew anything about 12 tribe chart. So no. Like as far as Haiti being Levi and Jamaica being Benjamin, no, I don't.
Okay, so you believe that the so-called African Americans, the people in Haiti and the people in Jamaica are Israelites?
Most definitely.
So do you know what tribe they come from?
Either Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. Can't say 100%. That's why I brought up.
How would you know that?
How would I know what?
That they come from either Judah, Benjamin, or Levi.
The same answer I gave him earlier. We can go to Isaiah the 11th chapter, and I'm gonna go to Isaiah 11, and I'm gonna pick it up at verse 11. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day, the Lord has set his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush, which of course is Ethiopia, and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So as we see, he named Israel, which a lot of them would be like the 10 tribes. And then he also puts emphasis on Judah at the end. But with Judah, it's an added thing to it. He said they're scattered to the four corners of the earth. You can also find that in Deuteronomy 32 and 26. And if we go to, give me one second. If we can also go to, just to help it, add a little mustard to it. Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter. Zephaniah chapter 3. And it reads Zephaniah 3 and 10. And it says, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring my offering. So when you put that together, in Jeremiah chapter 50, where he say that Judah and Israel will basically be on the same land, that's talking about Africa. And that's because we know we have the Ibu tribe, you know, tribes like the Ashanti tribe, the Falasha, and all these tribes. And you also have in South Africa, you got the Limba tribe, who we believe to be Levi. So it's still, so my point is, it's still some Judah left over there because they're scattered to the four corners of the earth. You see what I'm saying? So in order for them to get to the four corners, you can only get there with a boat. We came over here in the transatlantic slave trade.
All right. So where's Ephraim at today? Do you know?
The majority of Ephraim is in Africa.
So they're not the Puerto Ricans.
No, it's Puerto Ricans that's Israelites, but they Judah.
Oh, they're Judah as well.
Yeah, as far as the kingdom of Judah, yeah. So they either Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, but they came over on both.
Okay, so you're saying that one is in Africa, one tribe is in Africa, and the other tribe is all the way over here in America. But it says in Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33, it says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together."
Yeah,
and captives held fast; they refused to let them go.
Right.
And so how would they oppressed together if one is in Africa and one tribe is in America?
Well, if you look at the text, what it's telling you is, we know that scriptures don't contradict scriptures. So if it's Israelites scattered to the four corners, then they can't all be in the same land. So what it's talking about is pointing out an area where all 12 of them are at, and that is the continent of Africa. It's no different than what our brother is saying with the chart. He's saying it's the continent of the Americas, which would comprise North America, Central America, South America, and even Canada. So it ain't saying, he ain't even saying it's all one little North American group. He's saying it's the continent. I'm saying it's the continent of Africa, because for one, Africa is much larger. It can hold a vast majority of the 10 tribes or the 9 tribes, and it can also hold some of the dispersed of Judah that didn't come over here. So it's quite simple to me. They're Africa.
So you're saying that these tribes, when it says "Thus saith the Lord," children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. That is talking about Africa.
For the most part, yeah, because they both on that same land together, and they both got oppressed ever since they've been over there. And they wouldn't let them return to Israel. That's part of that same scripture that you're reading too.
All right, so what would be the significance of acknowledging the transatlantic slave trade if that was the case?
Because it also says in Isaiah 11, what I just read, Isaiah chapter 11, let me read it one more time. Isaiah chapter 11, and you go down to, let me read it clear for you, bro. It says, verse 12, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah. So you hear that now. Listen, from the four corners of the earth, the envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off from Ephraim. Shall not Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. I also want to read one more thing in here. Let me see. The Philistines. Okay, and listen to this. Here's the dead giveaway that this can't be talking about the Americas. Listen to this, Brother Solar. Verse 14. This is what's going to happen next. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. All you have to do is go look at a map, and you'll see that Edom and Moab is right there by what you would call Jordan. That's what Ammon and Moab is. And we know, according to Ezekiel chapter 36 and Ezekiel chapter 35, the Edomites rule Jerusalem to this day. So how you gonna walk from America across some water to go beat up on the land of Moab and the land of Ammon when that's all the way over there in North Africa? Makes no sense.
All right, so
unless he could show me the land of Moab over here in America.
You believe that there are 12 tribes?
Yes, sir.
You believe that the Latinas, oh, you said they were Afro. They were of the tribe of Judah, Latinas, the Afro Latinas.
Not necessarily the tribe of Judah, but they from the kingdom of Judah. So they would be either Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, to be more specific.
Okay. So what about the Mexicans?
What about them? The Afro Mex or the Gentile Mex?
The Afro Mexican. I'm talking about only the when I'm asking questions about the Mexicans, I'm only speaking of the Afro aspect of it. So what are the Mexicans?
Oh,
you say that all of them are from Judah?
From the kingdom of Judah. Yeah, remember that's between three tribes. Yeah, I go with what I read earlier, Deuteronomy 32 and 26.
So you're saying that the Native Americans that was here before Columbus, they were also from the tribe of Judah?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Where they come from? Well, you got two different groups of Native Americans. If you look at the ones that was around, I believe that was around 1,000. I'm gonna say that was around. Was that around 1,000? Around the time of Genghis Khan era. If you do the research around Genghis Khan era, you can clearly see, and I'm not trying to offend anybody because I know people take this real personally, but just historically, we know that Genghis Khan Empire was 3 times the size of Greece and twice the size of the Roman Empire. So he made it to the Americas. And so those Mongolians you see, if you go look over in Mongolia, and then you go look at some of the early Native Americans, they look almost identical. That's because they're the same people. So they came over with him. You also have the black natives, and if you do research on things like the Old Mac, who a lot of people synced the writings and said it was Hebrew, but it was actually ancient Phoenician. So a lot of those black people that were
Genghis Khan, they were not are they Israel?
No.
All right, so the ones that was the Olmecs, they are Israel.
Nope, I didn't say that either. Them was Hamites.
Oh, so they was Hamites. So none of them are Israel. That's what you're saying.
Well, to be fair, to be honest, I can't say 100% that no Israelites came over here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, to make it seem like I know everything. I can't say that no Israelites came. That's kind of unreal. Right, for the most part. But I would say this, Solar, and for everybody listening, I do know about Solomon's fleets. So Solomon, and let me just say this part to clarify so people can look it up. The reason I say that ancient writing that they found was ancient Phoenician and not ancient Hebrew is because the Phoenicians were a naval people. And we know during the times of Solomon, he had fleets. And if you go look, the Phoenicians were some of the people that were naval people. So they would have came over here. So that's why I say.
How do you make the difference between like a Hamite? Were they Hamites in West Africa before the transatlantic slave trade?
Was it Hamites in West Africa before? I'm pretty sure they was there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So that only the Hamites were only the Israelites was taken and scattered, or were there Hamites as well?
I believe damn near 100% of the Israelites was taken, and I say that. I know some people think that's unrealistic, but if you truly believe in prophecy and believe in scriptures, God he not color struck. Like he not gonna not know who you are because y'all look alike. Only humans do that. If you look at like the slave narratives of Aludo Equiano, which is a real slave narrative, he tells his story about how he got kidnapped and taken to Europe. And the first thing he said was, these other African tribes was not like my people. They were not circumcised. So meaning they had their stuff hanging out. You know, they didn't cover themselves like us. He said they were not circumcised, and he said their women were not as modest as ours. I mean, they didn't cover their head and all that. So it was always this distinction between who the Israelite was and the Hamites, and it was mainly due to the customs over in Africa.
So you're saying that all the people that was taken out of West Africa for the transatlantic slave trade were Israelites and not Hamites.
But realistically speaking, I gotta say at least the majority of, vast majority, yeah.
All right, and you're basing that off of cultural customs.
And prophecy. Not just one alone, but I put them together. I use them together, and I say I would have to come to that conclusion.
So how are you making that conclusion when there's people in Brazil that had African customs and African traditions?
Well, I mean, we're gonna do that anyway. I'm not saying it like we would keep all of our Israelite customs. That would kind of defeat the purpose of us being lost. But they were like an identifying marker in certain cases. A lot of the African customs that we call African actually are Hebraic customs. If you look into them, like the Ibu tribe was loaded with a lot of Hebraic customs. If you look at the Yoruba tribe, they're a prime example that they mixed Hebrew customs with African Hamitic customs.
All right, so when you say mixed with African customs, are you suggesting that there was some type of integration between the African Hamites and the Israelites before the transatlantic slave trade?
I wouldn't say there was an integration, but there was definitely contact. It had to be contact. I mean, we wasn't just isolated, to that degree. Matter of fact, throughout all our history, that was our problem. We always ran into other nations and started to take up some of their ways and trying to mix it with our ways. And that's what got us in trouble.
So you don't think that includes intermingling?
Well, look, no, we've had to have some of their women, if that's what you ask, and they have some of our men at times, yeah. But what I'm saying is, my argument is the bulk, the majority of the Israelites in Africa, for the most part, stood out because of some of their ways and their customs.
So understanding that, you would have to admit that there are some Africans that did come over here then.
Yeah, that's why I said vast majority. So I would probably give it about a 90%-ish rate on Israelite.
Okay, so what about the other tribes of the Northern Kingdom? Where are they at now?
I named them in Isaiah chapter 11. And I don't think they're just there. I think they're also in Asia and parts of India. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times we focus on the transatlantic slave trade, but don't nobody talk about the sub-Saharan slave trade that happened with the Arabs before that. You know what I'm saying? They was taking our people all up the other way. And so I believe that the bulk of the Northern Kingdom is in Africa. You got to think, Africa is 3 times the size of the Americas. So you could fit America inside Africa 3 times. So that would support more of our tribes.
All right. Thanks a lot, brother. We're going to
Yes,
move
sir.
forward to the voting. Who do you vote for? Is it Mikhael or Claim Your Inheritance? Family. We're going to start out with the peers vote. You already know the process, family. You can call in now. This is peer votes. Peers. Call in now or forever hold your speech. Let's get to the voting. Peers call in. Peers call in. Peers call in. Outside the cube. Peace. Who you vote for?
Hey, peace, man. I gotta give it to the brother Mikhael. Claim is usually awful, but he was especially terrible tonight and resorted to lying. And Ari, I never taught that Ephraim is also Judah, so he lied about that. Game over. Congratulations, Mikhael.
All right. So critic, he sends in his vote via text. Now, if y'all want to text me, make sure you claim you post your name inside of the text so I can know that it's a member of the debate league because I got a new phone. Christopher Harris, what's good, family?
Hey, yeah, man. I'm gonna just go with Mikhael on this one, man. I mean, I'll go with Mikhael, man. But attributing everything to being an Israelite just because you keep a certain custom, man, that's weak, man. We got to stop that argument, man. There's no basis behind that. Many African peoples were already keeping those customs way before Israel was even established. That being said, peace.
All right, peace. Y'all, Rob, Ben Nazareth, peace, family. Who you vote for?
I vote for, my vote goes to Mikhael. There's no science behind the 12 tribe chart, man. It's a mythology, man. It's all mythos. So I give my vote goes to Mikhael.
All right, thanks a lot, family. Outside the cube, outside the blue, out the blue, he votes for Mikhael. So we got 4 votes, 4 peer votes for Mikhael. We have 0 for Claim. Peace. Is this Hebrew? Aboriginal? All right, Aboriginal Hebrew, who you vote for?
Mikhael, big bro.
All right, thanks a lot.
Peace, big bro.
All right, peace. All right. Yeah, man. Let me go ahead and get all these out the way. Yeah, like if you're going to send me a text vote, make sure you put your name inside of the text vote so I can know that you're a member of the debate league or will not be counted. You have a new phone, so let me see. Yes, as what I said earlier, we're going to be rocking out all week. We're going to have not tomorrow, but Thursday, we're going to have Gideon Israel. He's going to be going up against Suave Boss. So make sure you be in the building, family. That'll be this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, we'll be capping off the second round with a debate between brother Bishop Eliyahu and Outside the Cube. That'll be this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, family. And that'll cap off the semi-conference final rounds of Solar Vision Debate League. So, I'm telling you, man, these debates are getting real crazy and intense. And that's the way I like it. You know what I'm saying? Because whoever's going to win this thing is going to be, it's going to know that they earned that. You're going to earn this. You're going to earn this trophy. You know what I'm saying? This trophy is going to be earned. And either you want it or you don't. Simple as that. You want it or you don't. So if you want it, you got to fight for it. If you ain't willing to fight, that means you don't want it. And if you don't want it, that means you're going to get kicked out. Win or go home, family. You know what I mean? So we'll get this thing another minute or two for the peers vote. And then we're going to move on in a second. I got to give me some ginger ale, man. Got to go give me some ginger ale. I got a strep throat, man. Yelling at you Negroes. Be yelling at you Negroes. Got me a strep throat. No, I don't think you get strep throat like that. We will be debating tomorrow. We'll have Yahweh Ben Nazareth. He's going to be in the building going up against Yamra Yahu. So make sure you be in the building for that, family. I think I'm gonna put my Hamite suit on right now. My Hamite hat on. My Hamite shirt. I got my Hamite. Got my Hamite gear on right now. I'm all Hamite out. You know what I'm saying? Got the Hamite shirt and the Hamite hat. You know what I mean? So who's going to bring it home? Who's going to bring it home, family? Who's going to bring it home? Who's going to bring the title home? You know what I'm saying? Because not all y'all going to touch the title. Not everybody's going to touch the title. There's only going to be one other person that touched the title other than Solar Mind. Other than Solar Mind, it's going to be one other person that touched the title, man. Who is it going to be? We don't know. We don't know. That's why we're trying to find out. That's why we have the playoffs. So, with that being said, we can now move to the people's vote. Let's get the people's vote. What do the people have to say? Who are you going to vote for? People, call in now or forever hold your speech. The number is 215-954-9091. Who do you vote for? Who do you vote for? Is it Brother Mikhael or is it Claim Your Inheritance? Family, the people's vote is now in effect. Vote now or die. Peace, 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 peace. Say your name, who you vote for.
Peace, shalom. I'm voting for Mikhael. It was a real good exchange, though, but he took it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, brother.
All right,
okay, family. Y'all know the rules by now. Y'all know how Solar Vision do. Don't try to act like this thing is new. You know what I mean? Wax Dog, Rich Mob, aka #1 Sniper in the building. That's the number. Call in now or forever hold your speech. The peers vote is now in effect, man. I told y'all if y'all sitting in a text vote, if you're sitting in a text vote, put your name before within the text, or it's not going to be counted. See, y'all, it's an art to listening. It's an art to listening. Peace, fam. State your name. Who you vote for?
I'm voting for Mikhael. That video alone just killed everything.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right. We got to vote for Mikhael. Let's go to the next caller. Peace, family. Who you vote for? State your name. Who you vote for? Yeah.
You T-Bone. I'm going for claim your inheritance.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot. So we got 1 vote for claim. We got 2 votes for Mikhael. We have a vote from Domo. We got a vote from Domo. He votes for claim your inheritance. So that's a peer vote. We have peace, family. State your name. Who you vote for?
Rachel, claim your inheritance.
All right. So we tied up at 2 with the people's vote. We are tied up at 2 for the people's vote. All right. So G-Con votes for Mikhael. So that'd be 2, 4, 6 peer votes to 1. Mikhael. And we're tied up at 2 with the people's votes. People. We got 99 people up in the building. Come on now. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Peace. State your name. Who you vote for?
Oh, yeah, Benny D, Mikhael.
All right. Thanks a lot. Hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to support that GoFundMe too. You know what I mean? Hit that GoFundMe up. I don't think I got anything in the GoFundMe for the debaters. I mean, y'all listen to the debaters all year. Y'all don't want to support them for the championship? Peace. State your name. Who you vote for?
This is David and Judah. Shout out to both debaters. I got Mikhael.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right.
We got 4 people's votes to 2. Mikhael. Yes. Family. Support that GoFundMe, man. Support the debaters, man. Y'all don't want to show no love to the debaters? Dang. Where's the love? Show some love. Show some support to the debaters. They put their information together. It takes some time to put their information together, man. You can at least throw a couple dollars in for the debaters. Peace. State your name. Who you vote for?
Yo, this Yoruba Ben. I'm going for Mikhael.
All right. Thanks a lot.
John from Papa John's.
Peace, family. State your name. Who you vote for?
Hey, this is Antonio from Domino's Pizza. I'm going for Outside the Claim. Shout out to Q. Outside the Q, what up?
So who you vote for, bro?
Claim your inheritance.
Okay, thanks a lot, brother. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 claim, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Mikhael. Yes, 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 yes. You know what I mean? All right. Only the people of only members of the debate league can send a vote via text message. Only members of the debate league. All right. So once again, we'll give this thing another minute or so before we move forward to the judges round. Peace, 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 family. State your name, who you vote for.
This is Brother Cassius Israel. I'm voting for Mikhael.
All right. Thanks a lot, brother. So thus far, we have 2, 4, 6 votes for Mikhael, 3 votes for claim your inheritance. Peace, family. State your name, who you vote for.
Voting for claim.
What's that?
Voting for claim.
All right. Thanks a lot. We got 4 votes for claim. We got 6 votes for brother Mikhael. Once again, family, if you're sitting in a text vote, you have to be a member of the debate league. And when you send in the text vote, please state your name inside of the text. It is an art to listening. Tell y'all guys, man. You're just hard-headed. You're hard-headed. That's the problem. You just got a hard head. We'll give this a few more seconds before we move forward. Get this thing locked and loaded, signed and sealed. Shout out to Do the Knowledge Radio. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page. Do the Knowledge Radio is a simple click. See what you do, right? It's the 3 dots right beside his name. You click on that, right? And then there's a go-to channel right there. Boom. You go to the channel and you subscribe and hit the notification sign so you can be updated on when he does posts and live streams. Peace, 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 peace. Blah, blah. You know what I mean? I think I'm from the tribe of Benjamin, man. Just to be real with you, you know. All right, we got a Wax Dog vote. Wax Dog. Wax Dog votes for claim your inheritance. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 votes for claim, 6 votes for Mikhael. So, family, if you want to call in now or forever hold your speech, make sure you do so right away. We got 30 seconds before we move forward. I'm trying to find out the topic for that to debate. I'm going to do so. I got my chalkboard up, but I haven't been using it lately. I need to get back to it. Not a chalkboard, but it's a poster board, a marker board, whatever you want to call it. Gotta start posting on that, make it a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? All right, Alabama. Peace, family. State your name, who you vote for.
I'm voting for Klein.
All right. So we got a tied ball game right now. We are tied. People's votes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Claim your inheritance. He's always winning the people's vote. So we are now tied. Mikhael want a pair vote? All right, let me stop tripping. Peace, family. State your name. Who you vote for?
I vote for Claim.
Uh-oh. Things is about to get interesting now, man. Peace. State your name. Who you vote for?
Zach, I vote for Klein.
Uh-oh. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 votes for Claim. We got 6 votes for. We got 6 votes for Mikhael. I think we got a tie ball game, fellas. Peace. State your name. Who you vote for?
Tango, I vote for Mikhael.
All right. So it's 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 votes to 8. Who is going to win this people's vote? Now we know that Claim always win the people's vote. You know what I mean? So this is getting a little crazy now, man. This is getting a little crazy now. This is getting a little crazy now, family. Yeah, man. We're going to see who comes up. I'm going to wait. We're going to wait this one out. Y'all better call them relatives. Y'all better call them relatives right now. We're going to get down to the bottom of this. 8 to 7. Claim. Mikhael. No, we're going to rock out. We're going to give it about another 30 minutes before we move forward to the judges' votes. So, hey, it is what it is. Yeah, we got another vote, family. Who is it? Who do you vote for?
Claim.
Uh-oh. Thanks a lot. I don't know. He's at 9. He's at 9 votes. So every time when another vote comes in, I got to reset the time. See, we're going to find out. This could be it. This could be it right here. Yeah, no, come on, guys. No unknown calls. See, y'all, this is why I got a white man, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no unknown calls, man. Come on, man. Dang, y'all gotta just do it right this time. Let's do it right this time, people. Dang, y'all always gotta do some crazy stuff all the time. You get crazy too much. Just do it right this time. Peace. State your name. Who you vote for?
I'm me, and I vote for Claim.
All right, so that is it, family. Claim has won the people's votes. Man, now it's time to get to the judges' votes. Yes, it's time to get to the judges' vote. I'm going to have to grab the trophy when I'm done. You know what I'm saying? It's about to get real. It's about to get real right now. Got to grab the trophy now. Getting real. So, through the knowledge, you can unmute your mic. Let the people who you know who you vote for and why. I'm shining the trophy. I'm gonna shine the trophy. I'm shutting up and I'm shining the trophy. I'm shining the trophy.
You got the Hamite hat on.
Hat on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all is not messing with me today, man. Did you notice?
Hey, this is one that was a very tough one, and I ain't have a tough one in a minute. This one was very tough. Both of the debaters came to win, and they came to win with class. You know, that's a rarity nowadays, since we see like the hunger and the passion in the playoff round. You see what I'm saying? So it's also, you know, edifying to see that, you know, two brothers can engage in a dialogue and not get messy.
Yes, sir.
But I have to go with Mikhael in the soundness of the argument. And it was an early cut that I was hoping that Claim would find a way to patch up in regards to, back to the same word, when you talk about legitimacy. You know, legitimacy can't be couched in fraud. You know, so that, and, you know, the debates were close. They was evenly matched. Both of them, like I said at the beginning, they both came to win. And then when it came in the shucklebuck round, it fell apart for my brother Claim, man. And Mikhael came in there like Cool Hand Luke, man. So I'm gonna have to go with Mikhael. You know, shout out to both debaters, man. They fought hard.
All right. Thanks for your vote, family. The vote goes to Mikhael, the judges vote. So to one thus far. School of Understanding also voted for Mikhael, and I also voted for Mikhael. The reason why I voted for Mikhael is because, you know, the topic of the debate is simple. You know, the legitimacy of the 12 tribes chart, according to REI. I mean, he laid down a solid premise. He showed that the elders said that, you know, this whole thing was made up, and that kind of laid the foundation to his presentation. Laid the foundation to his presentation. He showed the discrepancies of the 12 tribes chart. He showed that there was how come the Africans and the Israelites in Africa aren't counted within the 12 tribes chart. He also made mention of the Afro-Latinas. He showed biblical evidence to support that, that it was going to be the tribes of Judah or the Judites that's going to be scattered, as opposed to the Israelites of the Northern Kingdom. When I asked claim your inheritance to give me clarity, he was giving me different answers. It was getting very confusing to the point of frustration. So my vote goes to Mikhael. Shout out to both debaters. It was a very interesting debate. I learned a lot from both debaters. Let's go argue about this in the argument. Let's go. Come on, we're going to go to the argument league. Let's go to the argument league and argue about it, family. So, with that being said, this is Solar Mind, and this is the Solar Vision Debate League playoffs, man.